forget, did one of the Metashift people actually send me a logo? Like I requested?
Am not sure. By the way, when you can, look at this one. What did you ask for from Metashift?
Just one of their own logos, because I use the League logo to cover up part of the bottom and the middle stick's GIF on the other part. But they don't have one as part of their stream logo package, which I think is really weird. I really like a lot of the things they do for streamers, but this one's a little weird to me. Oh, there it is. There's an MSL. Sick. Okay. That means I want to duplicate this. And then I want to replace this. Let me know if they've started, by the way. Sorry.
I got you going.
Oh, it's so small. Why is their logo so small? It's not as oblong as the Aegis one, at least. That'll fit. That looks okay.
Do you have the spec jersey?
Yeah, I have the link. Are you talking quieter? Or do I need to turn you up more?
I'm talking quieter.
Okay, I'll turn you up a little bit. But not as much. We won't go too hard.
Saving all my energy for when the game starts.
Oh, I never actually loaded up. I saved the link for the pro draft, but I never actually put it in my scene. So that didn't do me very much good. Oh, they're all the way through banning. Okay, sick. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Metashift Helium Division Week number 2. My name's Samaris, my co-caster is Atlas. We've got an undefeated matchup between Return of the Middle Stick Surprise Party and EVO Blaze. Yeah, so Renata, Samira, Tarek, Sivir, Vagar, and Wukong not going to be played today. How are you doing, number 1? And number 2, what do you think so far of these bans?
I am very interested to see these bans. It's pretty cool to see Renata always being banned out, even with her getting nerfed. Still such a great ban. Samira though, Samira getting banned, I'm not sure if Mini 4-4 plays a good amount of Samira. I've actually took the liberty to scrim against this team before. We've not seen a Samira, but either way, you definitely don't want Samira snowballing off the bot lane. And Tarek ban, that's such a good ban. Anywhere in any elo, any game, it's always good to see Tarek ban. I think RotM pull out some solid bans.
Yeah, EVO Blaze first picks Trundle, which is kind of a strange blind pick, and some strange blind counters. It looks like the Lulu for Surprise Party, and then they'll get to decide where they want to go next.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty good pick, picking up Lulu against the Trundle. I mean, we're not going to see in the lane, but the whole purpose is if that Trundle is jungle and ever shows his face bot lane, it's just not going to be a good time. You're just basically going to get polymorphed, and then you pretty much can't do anything after that. So, nice pickup. Jinx being picked up as well on the RotM side. This is a good bot lane. Very, very good bot lane so far.
Yeah, Jinx Lulu, a kind of classic bot lane pairing. A lot of damage, a lot of poke potential as well. It's really hard to play engage supports into that. So we'll see what EVO Blaze has in mind for themselves. They play a lot through their bottom lane Mini, notably last Metashift League, one of the top 80 carries, and they're going to funnel in through him. It's the Zerayumi lane.
Yeah, definitely. This guy is definitely a very good Zeri player. During our time scrimming against him, Zeri was always permabanned every 3 game, or all 3 games that we played against them. Um, but Vi being picked up for RotM as well. This is a really good draft. It's you have the engage potential. You have some. You have a ticking time bomb in the bot lane with the Jinx Lulu versus the Zeri Yumi. I believe it's a little more favorable for Jinx, only because it's a single target matchup, and that's even better for someone who wants to conserve their mana and trading. So really nice pickup for RotM,
Yep.
securing a safe bot lane, not worried about the Zeri being open.
Plus, you've got 2 arcane champions, so you get the double arcane buff.
That is true.
And
That is
I don't
true.
know that that's surmountable, honestly. Atrox, aka Baboris, and Vex gonna be banned away. No real thoughts on that. Mordekaiser as well, so trying to get a little bit better matchup in the top lane, it looks like.
Yeah, I
And
could
now
definitely
that
see
you've
them
used
going to front line.
now that you've used 2 bans on top lane, that means that this will probably be your top lane blind. And then you'll save your counter pick for winged, which feels like an MO for Surprise Party.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they want to conserve the mid lane pick as late as possible. Just because of that Trundle pick, you don't know if it actually will go top or if it actually might see the jungle. It's more favorable in the jungle, but it's nice to see a top lane.
Oh, they're not
Um,
going to. It's the Swain.
Ooh. Now, I wonder if they're gonna flex this. It'd be pretty bad if they flex it to top lane versus the Trundle, but nonetheless, it's still a great pickup. You got Trundle and Zeri who are gonna be in the AOE of Swain's ultimate, so a lot of things that EVO is gonna have to focus on during these team fights and dragon fights. I don't really see that many good available picks. Obviously, you would love to have the Tarek that got banned out. You would love to have Renata. Oh, Morgana.
How about the... I'm not going to pick a champion.
That is also a great strategy. 100% win rate with that.
Yeah. The Morgana just nullifies lane matchups, essentially, and then helps reduce a lot of the crowd control. Plus, you got more tools to shield Zeri, which seems like the whole point of your team. And Ornn going to be the last pickup, so there is a very clear focal point for EVO plays, and that is a mini on Zeri.
Yeah, definitely really weak on the damage side, early game at least, but later on, once Zeri does get going, she gets her second, third item. Definitely going to be a hard matchup for RotM to go forward, but this is a comp that definitely wants to be in front of Swain. Let's see what they manage to pick for a front lane here in the top lane now that they picked away the Ornn.
Oh!
Ooh.
Is that real?
Oh, we have our spicy game. I hope that's real.
No one said anything, so I'm gonna assume so. So Yone locked in. That's very surprising to me. Yeah, they're just ready for that, I guess.
Yeah, that is a real big
boy.
surprise pick. What a surprise pick from Surprise Party.
Very interesting. So I'm more surprised given knowledge of these players. None of these feel like Toe Knuckles champions. No offense to Mr. Knuckles, but a lot of times they want to put him on tank duty, on just kind of nullify the opposing top laner duty. But he's going to get a chance to shine now and do a little bit of carrying, either on the Swain or the Yone. Probably the Swain if I had to guess. I think the Yone fits more into Wing's niche, but maybe we're seeing something special. Who knows?
Yeah, this is actually a good toss up that they're throwing out there. Obviously, you would prefer to have Toe Knuckles on a more beefy frontline champion other than Swain or Yone, but nonetheless, still there's always that possibility of that crazy Yone build that's going around where you do Blade of the Ruin King, Sunfire Cape, or maybe it is a Swain top lane.
No, it's Yone for
Oh yeah,
Toe
looks like it's me.
Knuckles.
Yeah,
Interesting. All right.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
He's really putting his money where his mouth is. Here in game number 1, EVO Blaze predicted, I guess, to be the number 2 team in the league based on the power rankings. Surprise Party number 5. This would be a big statement win if Surprise Party are able to grab it. And one that I think they're fully capable of, given what I've seen from this team. But this is gonna be quite a battle that they'll have in front of them against EVO Blaze, who I'm sure you recognize a lot of the names. I recognize a lot of the names. These guys have played together for quite a while.
Yeah, this is actually a really, really all-in, all cards on the floor, or table, I should say, for a surprise party comp. But nonetheless, still, it is a very high reward if you take the high risk type of comp. It's something that's out of the ordinary. You kind of want to have more of a better front line if you have something that's going to dive in with Vi or hold the front line with Swain. Luckily, with Yumi being picked up, or Yumi, I should say, with Lulu being picked up, it does give you that few extra seconds of combat with her ultimate. But nonetheless, still, I don't really see. It kind of feels like they're willing to, like you said, they're willing to put their money where their mouth is. But I don't really think EVO is too nervous about this matchup. I think they're comfortable with what they're going against.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of these guys played together in Aegis as Clarity.
Yes.
In case you're curious.
Yes.
And then
Clarity.
They're running it through here. Now, how did Clarity do, I wonder? I asked myself. They just qualified for playoffs last week, so they finished 2-5, but then went 2-0 in qualifiers.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to face against Clarity. Unfortunately, we didn't play against their actual support. Evo Vision was not actually on the lineup at the time. I believe he was not available. But still, this is not a team that should be overlooked. It's still a very good competitive team. Like we talked about earlier, Zeri being picked up for Mini 44. It's definitely one of his top picks. So allowing that to go through is basically saying, hey, let's see where you're made of. But nonetheless, still, it's nice to see that Clarity is actually sticking through with their comp, putting all the eggs in the basket for Mini and letting him go nuts with his Zeri pick. I'm really excited to see what they can do. So this will be the first time I'm seeing their full roster.
Yeah, should be really fun. I'm looking forward to it despite it being a little late. Shout out to Scrams for scheduling this one at 8 rather than 9 p.m. so that we had a chance to make it. But the deal that I made, they either have to 2-0 or get 2-0'd. There's no 2-1s tonight, or I'm never casting them again. So we're pulling out the big threats.
This definitely is gonna be one of those spicy games. Obviously, you do want to set the tone for game one. You kind of don't want to reveal everything that you've been planning to approach the team with. But seeing Toe Knuckles on Yon, I'm really excited. I hope this is a pop-off game for him. I
just hope it's significantly more interesting than his very solid 0-0-1 scoreline last week. I don't know if you took a look through the game from last week, but yeah, his team had 20 kills and he participated in one.
I think
also
Toe
didn't die.
I think Toe is their most underrated player in this thing. I think he's someone that's going to be overlooked in this league. I'm really excited to see all 5 of these guys really playing together. Great group of people. Toe, I want to see it. Let's pop off on Yon. Let's get a good one. Let's get a banger going on game 1.
Wait, I missed casting somebody named Stonky Kong 69 last week. Oh no.
Donkey Kong 69. That sounds so familiar. Wherever I've seen that person before.
I don't know.
I've heard of that name before somewhere.
It's a really solid username regardless. Yeah, well, 15 seconds before we get onto the Rift for our first clash of the night.
Without being biased, any favorable matchups here that you like, based from top all the way down to bottom?
I mean, the thing is, the draft that you have for EVO, you you only do that draft when you understand what you have in the AD carry role, right? You know this guy is gonna pop off. So we put 2 supports on him, we give him 2 tanks, and then he can't be touched, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard without. I don't know them that well. Maybe Mini isn't that good. Maybe Mini gets just destroyed by Death Lotus and Altera, and it's just not a good draft. But when you throw a draft like this together, usually you're under the understanding that that guy's going to carry you. And that draft looks really scary to play against if Mini is any part of the hype, right?
Right.
But if the hype isn't there, I really do like Return the Middlesticks comp. I think that it's really solid all around. It has ways to engage, ways to go after single targets in the backline, which I think is very important against this comp. Um, I just don't know that I love their lane matchups necessarily. You want to be aggressive with Vi early, but there's not really a place where you can do that now. Like Yumi can play very defensively against Jinx, Lulu. You're not under much threat. In mid lane, you have Black Shield. You can just walk out of a Vi gank. You can walk away from Swain. In top lane, maybe that's your angle. Maybe you get Toe Knuckles really fed on the Yone, but then you're putting a lot of attention into. I don't want to flame Toe. I'm trying to make sure that I say this because I don't believe that he's
We
the
love you,
worst
Toad.
player in the league, but he is the lowest point total player in the league, right? In a point league. So there's supposed to be something to him being theoretically your weakest member, and if you're paying a lot of attention to that player, then are you letting go of opportunities that you should have anywhere else?
Yeah, I agree. You definitely want to get you definitely want to get the Yona on top lane ahead as quick as possible because it's gonna get to a certain point where Warren's gonna pretty much get the same mythic as you, and it's gonna be almost impossible to really kill him after level 6. So I definitely do think that we're gonna see Yon get ahead early on. Hopefully he does. And it looks like in the bot lane we're just pretty much gonna have a farm fest. Mini picking up a call. Obviously, not something he wants to be in a matchup where it's single target, especially in 2 people who want to conserve their mana. So it's definitely going to be a farm fest news in the bot lane, but nonetheless, still, if either one gets ahead, it's definitely going to be pretty much a wrap in the bot lane.
Yeah, and you can see Mini already being pretty annoying, just stealing away the shield from Altera. The level 2 hit, I'll see if they can get a little aggressive. It doesn't look like there's too much in the tank, really. His trustiest Karma and Toe Knuckles have a little duel up in top lane.
That grass was actually doing a lot of work. It proc twice there in that trade up top lane. It's going to sting for Toe Knuckles, especially since Ornn has his Dorn Shield. He already burnt his potion, however, so he is going to be a potion down.
Yeah, and
And it looks like
Altera has already chewed through a lot of her mana in the bottom lane, so it's going to get that much harder to push Mini
we're going to
and
get
Vision
gank up
out.
top lane.
But yeah, gank up top lane already. Do you think it's Eli Man or Element? Looking for
Eli
Toe Knuckles,
Man.
the flash forward, gets the Bellows Breath, and it's first blood for Trustiest Karma. Just a
Yeah,
really
that's
quick jungle
rough.
path. That's buff Gromp top lane for Eli.
Yeah, if you're RotM, you gotta understand the same way you want to prioritize this Yon getting ahead is the same way Eli Man is gonna want to prioritize getting this Ornn out of top lane. It's nice to have him in a farm fest versus Yon because he know he'll be able to sustain the damage and stay in lane as long as possible. But the issue is once Ornn gets out of that first tower, so he's able to roam around the map, come down in this dragon, come down a rift, come down a mid lane even. It's gonna be a lot harder for Toe to respond to that just because of champion difference. But still, a really high risk invade through the red side and a high reward gives him first blood.
Yeah, Scrams is still lingering up there. Might look for a return gank, but it looks like Trustiest Karma gonna do what he should do and head back to base. Vision intercepts the Zap in bottom lane, and Death Lotus and Altera just kind of beating on the brick wall that is Zerayumi.
Yeah, like we said earlier, it's basically just non-stop trading. I think they should prioritize just on pushing the lane more. That way, Zeri has to be forced to focus either the wave or trading. She'll lose out in something. But if they just continue to trade with the Yumi or with the Zeri, who's not only stealing the shield but just healing everything back up, it's not going to be a favorable trade. You're already half HP, way past half mana, and Eli Mana's already on his bot side again. Probably won't see a gank, but it's still very dangerous to be in this position for RotM in the bot lane.
Trustiest Karma picked up a Warden's Mail off of that first kill. Um,
Yeah, that's gonna be rough for Toe.
yeah, that's it's a difficult one. Now he does have the opportunity still to spec into a little bit of sustain, and maybe try to kind of tank through everything. Have a vampiric scepter is the word I'm trying to look for, but yeah, Warden's Mail makes it that much more difficult to trade. Scrams just walking in for a ward in bottom lane. Mini's gonna go aggressive. He's got Vaultbreaker over the wall, so not under any real threat, but nothing particularly aggressive happening there. I'm surprised that Swain W, we've seen it land up in the top lane during the gank, and then that one landed in the bottom lane, and he's barely moved out of mid lane. That range is kind of ridiculous now.
Yeah, I definitely think it's out of that W. Oh, he's getting ganked.
Yeah, Winged in a little bit of trouble. Has to use the Demonic Ascension, just pulls back in. Maybe he's not the one in trouble.
Oh.
Pops the Bird Bomb. Eli taken pretty low, just getting the suck, but he's out of mana now. Scram's on the way. Doesn't have his Vault Breaker up. Flashes forward for
Nice
an
flash.
E. Needs an auto. There's the Vault Breaker for the kill, and Scrams picks one up. I have Sarin going to land for the slow. Wing gets a little bit of healing. Doesn't have the mana to really push forward onto Wild Ray, but they'll get one in the mid lane in exchange for all of their summoner spells, which you take, honestly. Levels up the kill count at 1.
Yeah, super risky going in for that re-engage as Swain, pressing Ghost, walking melee range with Trundle. But nonetheless, still, they managed to pull it out. Scrams was nearby, was able to pick up the kill. And it's definitely good to get Wing Nation ahead in lane. Already up in CS, Scrams picking up that kill. That's a nice counter game, but the only thing I would like to have seen better is it played a little bit more cleaner. Ghost was popped a little bit late, but nonetheless, they still managed to pull it off. Nice job with that gank. Looks like they're going to be losing this dragon, however, with them resetting.
Interesting. Eli's headed right for a Tiamat, so he's really looking to farm. I don't know how I feel about that. Very mixed feelings. Not good. My first reaction is ugh, so that's probably not ideal. Toe just looking for his trade that he can. This is going to be a little... Oh, he's got the knockup.
Oh,
okay,
he stops
never mind.
it.
He does stop the ult. Mini finds Scrams just walking by toward that mid lane.
Yeah, Eli Man going for that Tiamat in his first item. I can understand it. You did a risky invade, and you started off with first blood on the top lane. Obviously, the pathing was not the best. And then you lose the gank over in mid lane. So wanting to pick up something to help you clear out these camps just as fast as Vi can definitely is not that bad of a choice. But it's not going to really matter much if Vi returns level 6 and you're basically just getting counter invaded.
Yeah, level 6 Toad's gonna hit his Fate Sealed. Has a little dash, but he has to pop back to his soul. I liked the trade, but Trustiest Karma still has his teleport available, so can either choose to sustain with his biscuits or just go back to base. Meanwhile, Mini's in maybe a little bit of trouble here. Scrams has the Assault and Battery into the Vault Breaker, and it's a kill for Death Lotus in the bottom lane. Vision gonna get slowed up, and that's a dead cat. It's a double kill for Death Lotus on the Jinx.
Well-executed roam over there from Scrams going down to the bot lane. That was a really good gank right there. It's definitely going to help Death Lotus get ahead in this matchup. Obviously, the trades weren't that really favorable for RotM.
Toe in a little bit of trouble. Has the shield. He's should be out unless Trustiest Karma wants to trade flashes.
But still, like I was saying, really good double kill for the bot lane. You definitely want to get that over onto Jinx as early as you can. Don't really want Zeri to get a lead, especially if they're already out trading the Jinx and Lulu. It's supposed to be a matchup where Jinx and Lulu win this, but if they're losing this trade-off, it's definitely good to help this bot side as much as possible. So Scram's giving them over a double kill definitely helps them out. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be in a lot better spot. They'll be able to trade better. Toe not having teleport versus Trusted Karma having teleport is definitely gonna suck. He probably might lose out on a wave or two, but I'm really looking forward to see if Scrams might actually want to help out this top side.
Yeah, I really want to see Toe get a Vamp Scepter. I think that helps turn this around, but he's still about 400 shy.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna feel very bad right now, just in the matchup, because you do have to go against the Ornn, who not only has a Warner's Mail but Bammy Cinders now. Definitely sucks, but with that Vamp that he hopefully does buy, definitely will keep him in lane a lot longer. I just don't know if it'll help him give a better edge into the matchup.
Well, I don't think that he wins trades, but the fact that he can stay in lane and farm and eventually hit his spike, I think is very important for him to do. Um, I didn't see what happened. Eli just kind of left the Rift Herald that he was started on, and now Scrams is on it. Scrams just got it, but Eli just walked right past him. Do they know that he's in the bush? This is so weird. Like, why is this happening right now?
I'm not sure.
You get the call out that the Rift Herald was done, right? So Trundle
Yes.
knows that Vi is in the area, but they don't know that Trundle is.
I think they were. I think Eli wanted to back off of it just because of the fact that
Ooh,
Wilder is
Soul Shackle from Wild Ray. A lot of healing from Winged as he's just trying to suck back up off the wave. Now they spot the Trundle. That was a weird little play. Just a lot of weird little interactions happening over and over, but looks like Winged able to escape that one. Did have to burn his ghost in the process.
Yeah, what I was trying to say is I think the reason why he backed off is because Wild Ray had roamed down to the Bots River on the map. He roamed down to the Bot River, and that kind of forced Eli to kind of want to back off a Rift. You don't have the mid pressure, especially with not knowing where Scrams is at. At that moment, Toe did have the wave in his advantage, but it's not something you would want to be afraid of. You have not only your Tiamat, you have Sheen now. Why wouldn't you want to go for a
3v3
fight?
in the bottom lane. Scrams might look for Mini. He's completely unnoticed on the backside. Tries to blow up Mini. Has the Assault and Battery to follow over the wall. And Scrams picks up the kill. Vision and Eli a little bit low. The Flash Vault Breaker could get another, but the Flash is there from Eli to get away. So, just the one kill again onto Mini in the bottom lane. So far, they've sent him to the Death Chamber twice, not really slowing his farming down at all, but at least getting something done. Wild Rays roam down, Dark Binding not going to land onto Scrams, and looks like a couple of tower plates will go over to the squad. They're even going to commit the Rift Herald. Scrams doesn't have his Vault... Okay, now he's got Vault Breaker up. It wasn't as long a cooldown as I thought it was.
Yeah, you definitely want to unlock this bot lane as much as possible, so popping Rift Herald there is not that bad of a choice. All this tells me we're going to reset, come right back bot, because Dragon spawning, we won't be there in time for the Dragon.
This 3v3, there's no Zeri available. Scrams is just choosing to fight it out. He's hit by the Dark Binding. Soul Shackles is going to be huge, though, to turn this one around. Scrams is dead. Flash away from Death Lotus. Can they turn it back onto Wild Ray? They have Winged roaming down a little bit ahead of Mini, depending on how they play this one. It's Demonic Ascension, but he's just caught by the Binding. Toe Knuckles trying to make sure that Trustiest Karma can't join and really throw this one into flux. A little bit of healing from Winged and a nice sidestep on the Dark Binding, and they'll all be on out of there. So you do lose Scrams right as the dragon spawns, which is a little bit unfortunate, but could have been much worse for RTM based on the timings that everybody had showed up.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I hope they reset so that way they can repeat gank bot to unlock the Jinx out from bot lane. That's tough. Losing your jungler there, now you force a free kill away. You force the dragon to be given away. And if I'm not mistaken, you did burn some summoners off of the Yuumi, but nonetheless, still, that's not going to really matter in lane. Zeri's going to be playing safe. Not a good swing for RotM right there. Definitely favorable for EVO. They didn't pick up that much. All they did was pick up a kill and a dragon. The goal lead is still not... It's almost balanced.
Yeah, 700 in favor of RTM is pretty much nothing. Oh my god. I don't know if that was audible on stream. Dog just came up and yelled right in my ear. Hi, Kale. Welcome to the stream. No, you can't have that. Don't be stealing things out of my desk. Alright.
Trustiest Karma actually warded up his Scram's red side, and this is actually going to be very good. Now that I'm pretty sure they're going to want to be aggressive on this top side, and they'll be able to see if Scram is going to respond to it. But I'm pretty sure Scram wants to unlock this bot lane and possibly do a tower dive. I hope we get to see that since the tower is only at 1 plate left. But double wards in Scram's red side, I don't really think that's gonna mean much. They're just probably just trying to see how much pressure they can push on this top side. Um, Looking at the map right now, it's not really something I would say is out of the game for RotM. You definitely have that lead now in bot lane, but are they going to use it? Are they going to continue to push the wave and shove Zeri under tower as much as possible? Are we going to see top wave get tower though? Are we going to see mid wave just continue to have a farm fest?
3-man invade onto the red buff, and Scrams is in trouble, and his Spidey sense, it's tingling a little bit. Okay, now it's gotta be really tingling. Scrams in trouble, gets knocked up, gets bopped around, and Trustiest Karma will pick up that kill.
Yeah, very unfortunate pickup. Oh, wait.
Oh,
Wing
the
Nation could actually
binding
try to
lands
turn it
onto
around.
Wing, being a little too aggressive, and with the Yumi coming in, Winged is still alive and zipping around. He's so fast. Oh, couldn't quite find the E to pull anyone underneath tower. Death Lotus and Toe Knuckles waiting around in the wings for the collapse. In comes
Knuckles is
Toe.
here.
He's got the fate sealed onto 3. It's a lot of damage finally coming through. They'll pick up a kill onto the cat first. Double kill for Death Lotus, and it's just Trustiest Karma left alive, and they'll pick them all up. It's a triple kill for Death Lotus. Wing picks up the spare, and ROTM gets 4 for 0 in the mid lane.
That's such a big swing for RotM right there. Obviously, it was a pretty late roam for Mini. Couldn't come up late, fast enough, but nonetheless, still, both Altera and Death Lotus getting there as fast as possible, stalling the fight as long as possible until Death Lotus got there. Really nice job. You went ahead and got Jinx even more fed, and I'm thinking right now, EVO is in such a bad position right now.
Yeah, Altera's James Bond out there, Agent 007 on the Lulu. It's a big swing for ROTM, and now it's 5-0 for Death Lotus. He's got his finished Kraken Slayer. He doesn't have a significant item lead on Mini, which is kind of interesting. Has he gone back? No, he's still sitting on 1,300 gold. I was like, there's no way he doesn't have an item or a gold lead, but just hasn't translated into those items yet.
Yeah, really nice job also by Wing Nation stalling out that fight as long as possible. Obviously, he almost got caught out with the random Yumi solo roam coming into mid lane, and then you have Ornalt, and then you have Walleray landing a binding with his ultimate. Definitely in a sticky situation, but he stalled it perfectly well with popping Ghost early this time, and it turned out into their favor. They didn't really get much. All they did was pretty much just get Rift. They didn't really get mid turn, but nonetheless, still
They just got mid
a
turn.
nice gold lead. Oh yeah, now they do.
Cashing that one in. Bot turret before too long. Toe. That's the V-Tank matchup, I guess. Hit a billion autos, hit a billion Qs, and get out traded by 1 Q from the tank.
Big shout
As
out
you
to
do.
Tell there as well. He hit a 3-man ult. He hit a 3-man fate
Altera
seal
walking
there.
forward.
And
This is a 3v3. In comes the lightning crash from Mini, trying to get onto Altera and Death Lotus. They'll get the root onto the Lulu and take her down first. Scrams in the area now, maybe looking to turn. They have the teleport coming in from Toe Knuckles
coming
to
in.
look for the turn. Mini gets assault and batteried, gets hit in the fate. Oh, dodges out of the fate sealed with the flash, and they'll take down Scrams. They're kiting back away. Death Lotus now in a little bit of trouble, but Winged flanking from the side has the demonic ascension available. Mini is still full health. Toe Knuckles in, but Winged just doesn't quite have the juice in the tank, able to get 1 kill back onto Eli Man. But Mini is still humming along at about half health. He's still going. A lot of damage coming through. Winged, trapped underneath tower, dodges the Dark Binding. Mini can't take that extra tower shot, has the dash away.
Yeah, really unfortunate there. Obviously, it's not the best idea to want to be pushing up forward when you don't have an idea where the Trundle's at. Obviously, Scram took the longer route to go ahead and counter gank this lane, but still, the fight was not able to turn out into their favor. Ring Nation got there a little bit too late. Didn't have the Ghost this time to get there quicker. Nice swing. I don't know why they're not doing the Dragon here. They could have done it by now, but
Scrams was up. It's a little risky without their jungler because they didn't have Eli.
we did get to see the full power of Mini on his Zeri there though. Obviously popping his ultimate and popping Ghost was a speedy boy. Pretty hard to catch up, even with Scrams ulting him. Great well-timed flash by the way from Mini on
Ooh,
Fate Sealed.
6,000 health on the dragon. It's not going down particularly fast. Now Eli onto it. Mini and Vision in the area. Binding not going to land from Wild Ray. They were looking for Death Lotus, and now the dragon has reset. All 10 people on the map ready to scrap over this third dragon. Scrams is going to shove in bottom wave, maybe look for that tower, but he's now separated, and they're going to get the speed boost
Gonna
onto
go on
Mini.
him.
He's got the dive over. Scram summons the Rift Herald into the bottom lane. Now gets hit by the Dark Binding. They just have to leave him, I think. Maybe they look for the re-engage here. That seems a little risky. Yeah, they're going to just zip you away, and should be a dragon. They'll even get this free Rift Herald kill. A little unfortunate there for the surprise party.
Yeah, they're gonna have to give up this dragon. I don't really see them wanting to contest this. They should just shove their lanes out, and it's a harder loss because they also lose out on the Rift Herald that they had picked up earlier. So definitely a big misplay there. It's really hard to understand where the Zeri is on the map, especially since she can go over all terrains. It's kind of hard to predict like where she's gonna put her focus into, but still, I think you should, if you're gonna go ahead and throw a Rift Herald down, you probably want to do it with somebody, but still, it's kind of hard to predict that happening. They
I
just
see the train of
ran
thought.
through.
They're trying to pull EVO back to the bottom lane
Yeah,
and secure the dragon, but yeah, just not accounting for the lightning dash over the wall. I think was the misstep there. Death Lotus and Altera might still get this tower in the bottom lane after all of this. They've got the wave shoving pretty hard, and no one really in the area to answer for Evo Blaze. So we're even in gold. As has been mentioned in the chat, there's a lot of scaling on the side of Evo Blaze because Zeri is a champion and has 2 supports and 2 tanks. So you worry about ROTM the later the game goes on, but right now, not a terrible spot. Level in gold. Just need to secure the next 4 dragons in a row. Easy.
yep. That's all they gotta do. Nothing hard. But in all seriousness, you are in a difficult spot right now. Even though the gold lead was in favor for RotM, with them having to do these misplays, losing out on the Rift Herald, losing out on 2 dragons now, losing out on, I believe, 2 bot lane fights now. Um, they're making a lot of position misplays. They still have the right mindset. I understand what they're trying to do. They just finished unlocking Jinx from the bot lane, so now Jinx gets to go mid or even top lane, do whatever she wants now on the map. Because this is where the gold is. This is where the team's gold is. It's on Wing Nation, and oh, there's a pause.
Just a little pause. We'll update you when we get a little info. I need to find my pause screen. There it is.
But yeah, like I was saying, you have the gold on Wing Nation on Swain, and you have it on Death Lotus on Jinx. You definitely want them around the map a lot more. Even though these fights have been happening around bot lanes and centered around Mini and Eli, I don't think that RotM could basically be put out that easily. Obviously, they're down in dragons, and if I'm not mistaken, towers as well. Oh no, actually, they're up on towers. Um, it's something I would want to look at and understand. All right, we're misplaying because of our positioning. We have the right mindset. We got a game plan. It's working. We just got to make sure we execute on positioning before these fights actually start.
Still no update in the chat about the pause, which happens, I guess. We're just hanging out. Oh, Scrams is asking for an ETA. It's so, typically you pause the game, and then you tell the other team why you paused it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It seems weird that you wouldn't do that.
While we are paused, if you are not already following the RotM Twitch channel, please do so.
Atlas is a bigger shill than I am, apparently.
Any followers in chat? 100 gifted subs?
The update just says 2 minutes. No reason, just 2 minutes. Maybe he had some food delivered. Get that big Uber Eats.
Uber Eats is now doing what are they called? Essential supplies. So someone's mouse could have died and they just needed another set of batteries.
Oh, true.
You don't eat
They have
batteries, by the way.
they have commercial. Yeah, they have those commercials. The Uber don't eats. Did you drop your ball off, Kale? My dog just brought me something, but I can't tell what it was because he put it directly underneath my chair. And as it turns out, I don't have vision directly underneath my chair. I guess there wasn't anything. Don't look at me like that. All right. You know when your pet's just carrying on, you're like, oh, I know, but you really don't.
I agree.
I'm gonna close the door in a second. I'll be right back.
Hmm.
All right, I'm back, and I see a ready in my chat. That's what I like to see. One team's ready. So we might even restart the game at some point.
I don't know. I do like the color of the pause time.
Yeah? You like the nice sepia tone?
It is pretty nice. And we are back.
We had a game at LAN um, where the router kept dying.
Oh, they're going
Anyway,
in on
they're
Eli.
going in. Yeah, Altera. No break right after the pause. No time to get your
Guns
footing
blazing.
back. Just going right in. All right, there's the repause pause. So we had a game at LAN. The router was dying, I guess, or the internet was dying in the venue. So we had to pause the game. But it was while Corky Gatling gun in his arcade skin was going. And the sound just loops and loops and yeah, it was actually hell on earth. Just sitting there with your headset on.
That's a feels bad.
And you didn't want to take it off because, like, you know, competitive integrity or whatnot.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But at the same time, it's just going off, not over and over.
I'm sure there must have been some type of officiating that, like, hey, you can go ahead and take the headset off.
Well, we were in our own room in the venue. It was a weird little setup, so we eventually just we're done with it. No use listening to that anymore. But
yeah, I can understand.
For a little bit, it was like, are we restarting? What do we do? Like, headset on, listening to Corky Gatling gun.
Oh, is Altera gonna get caught out again?
Yeah, Altera now has nowhere to escape. Gets caught in the pillar, able to get over the wall. In comes the Ornhorn just to get the knock up. They will eventually finish off Altera. The fate sealed away from Toe Knuckles. Gets him underneath tower, but I don't think that's going to particularly bother Eli Man as he just walks in and beats the man to death with his club. Double kill for Eli Man on the Trundle, and yeah, another 1,000 gold basically in the pocket of EVO Blaze. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm hiccuping now.
Yeah, this is definitely a really tough position for Ronald to be in. It looks like Vision is just pretty much just hopping onto Eli Man. Understands that when Mini's farming, don't need to be on him. Let me swap over, run over to the jungler. Let me get on him. We can just run down everyone we see.
Yeah, another prowling projectile just going to land onto Scrams and make sure that he's not having a fun time. Zeri gets her Blood Word, the cousin of Squidward, as we've discussed before. And even more power for this area. Why not just give her an extra 1,000 gold with the Orn item? 1 minute before this dragon spawns, and you really don't want to give over Mountain Soul. Oh, not quite in time.
Almost. But yeah, definitely don't want to give out this Mountain Soul. So we're going to see a slugfest here coming up. I'm really curious to see how much pressure they're going to put onto this mid lane, because you can't. It's too late to pretty much put pressure right now on this bot wave. It's way too far up on your side. And it looks like Eli... Okay, never mind. That almost felt bad luck for Death Lotus there if he got caught over by the pillar.
Yeah, Scrams even steals the Blast Cone out from underneath Trustiest Karma. Teleport in from Wild Ray. Dark Binding A little enterprising there, but just trying to see if there's anyone hiding in the bush. Not much damage really set up yet. Winged is
Mini's
only
here
about
now.
half mana, now gets it engaged on. Has to pop his Demonic Ascension. In comes Toe Knuckles with the Fate Sealed. They haven't really got onto Wild Ray. Now Winged walks on forward. Scrams is there. They get onto they get onto Mini, but he's just kiting back away. Zanya's for Winged as he's just being burned down by the Subjugate. Death Lotus is still alive. Mini now into melee range. Falls down. He gets shut down by Death Lotus. Another auto comes through. The follows. The Jinx resets, but the Dark Binding is there from Wild Ray to prevent that from catastrophe for EVO Blaze.
Oh no, Mini, that fight was going so well for you, and you just got a little bit too hungry. That fight was swinging over on the EVO side 100%. Their backline was untouched. So was RotM's, but unfortunately, with the Yumi being centered
Death
around
Lotus
the
still might find
jungle.
another one here. He gets the
Hey,
zap onto Trustiest Karma, gets the zap onto Wild Ray. It's a good black shield now. He's stuck underneath tower. Eli Man just gonna walk on forward. No dragon was taken during that encounter, so we're just gonna reset and try it again here. And they have to worry about the tempo now. Scrams is back on the map for a potential
Mini's going.
steal.
Yeah, Mini can get there quick enough.
This is just as scary as it was a couple of seconds ago. No real gold swing. It's still 1,000 gold in favor of ROTM, or excuse me, Evo Blaze. And now Eli Man has started up on the dragon. Scrams is just farming. They're gonna give up Mountain Soul? No, teleport in now from Toe Knuckles, looking for the re-engage maybe eventually. He's got the Fate Sealed. Scrams into range. Scrams for the steal. He didn't get it. It's a Mountain Soul that does go over to Evo Blaze, and now in comes the Orin Horn to segment away the team. Toe Knuckles gets knocked up. Mini is in over the wall, but he's into melee range of Scrams and Winged. Now we're kiting away from Eli Man on the other side. Winged is caught in between everyone with Altera, but they're going to be able to turn and take down Eli Man. Trustiest Karma eventually falls as well. Eli can just zip back over the wall, and now he's back in the fight. Winged burning very low. Dark Binding not going to connect onto him, and that'll be the fight, but they lose the Mountain Soul, and that puts ROTM in a very disadvantageous spot.
Yeah, Mini was actually doing a really good job trying to stall that fight as long as possible, sitting on top of Trustiest Karma and Wild Ray at the same time, was stalling out the fight as long as possible for Death Lotus to get some crits in, but unfortunately it just doesn't swing their way. That Mountain Soul is just way too much shielding for them.
Yeah, now their job is that much harder. They have to chew through an extra 200 to 300 health on Mini every time that they engage a fight. And we've already seen how tanky that Zeri is with all the shields, with the Immortal Shield Bow, now Bloodward Shield. This just doesn't even sound like a good item.
It does not. It sounds like a
Oh, and
if anything,
Trustiest
sounds like
Karma
a
picks up an Anthemus Chains for Death Lotus.
Wow.
That's disgusting. I mean, completely valid, but disgusting.
Yeah, this is definitely getting out of control right now. It's gone from a slow bleed to now a really heavy bleed because all the gold is just being funneled into the right people for Evo, and for excuse me, it's for the RotM side, it's also being funneled into Death Lotus and Wing Nation, but that's pretty much it. You gotta give some of this gold funneling to Toe. You gotta get some of this gold funneling into Scram, so that way they can get some items to get tankier, because they're just getting blown up in these fights. As soon as they go in, Mini and Wild Ray, they're just throwing out so much damage out there, and even Eli, really, they're just throwing out way too much damage for them to stay alive as long as possible. Now with this Mountain Soul on Evo's side, like you said, it's definitely gonna make their job a lot harder. They're gonna have to look for some luck right now because it's in a really bad spot right now for RotM.
Yeah, and the essential question that we needed to have an answer to: how do you kill Mini? So far, the way you've killed Mini is he flashed into your team and died, and you had 2 ganks on him. But the fights where he's not made a terrible blunder have gone very well for Evo, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So as long as he can keep himself under control, not go too wild, it should be not an easy win, but Blaze is in a very good spot.
Yeah, it's definitely something Mini has to understand at this point. You're winning these team fights now because you're actually controlling yourself. Obviously, he had that misplay that last fight earlier where he was fully ghosted and he had his ultimate on, going into the middle of the team. Not really something you want to do, but yeah, as long as they understand, all right, If Mini's going in, we gotta go in. If Mini's backing off, we gotta back off. As long as Evo continues to have that mindset in these team fights, then they're gonna continue to win this. But at the same time, it's the unsolved question, like you were saying earlier. How do you kill Mini?
Yep, and you know, Mini now can casually crit through the turret for 540 damage with his W, so starting
Because
to
that's
stack it
fair.
up, and he just bought an Infinity Edge. Now Trundle gets his Infinity Force, which sounds like a knockoff Avengers.
It does. It sounds like an Avengers combo move, or some type of Marvel versus Capcom ultimate ability.
I was just thinking, like, you get all your lesser superheroes together, call them the Infinity Force.
Suicide Squad.
Something like that. Winged is caught and in a little bit of trouble now. Do they have the CC to really force on through? They do have the Horn if they need it, but no real reason to. Winged's at about half health. You've chewed through Altera's mana a little bit. You've chewed through Death Lotus's mana a little bit. You're pretty satisfied with that. They could just walk back to Baron and do it. No real reason not to, and there they go.
Yeah, Evo try to suffocate them on the vision side, trying to make sure they go deep into the red side, clear out all the wards out. Now it looks like Scrams actually might try to steal this.
Yeah, Binding lands onto Scrams. They've got to try to get over the wall. In comes the teleport from Toe Knuckles for it. 2,000 health. They have the spot on the health because of the pink ward over the wall.
Off.
Scrams is on. Scrams is looking for it. The smites are even. He just steals it. And now Toe Knuckles goes in. They don't need to fight this one. They got the Baron. They got what they came for, but they're still looking for the fight anyway. Winged into the backline, just looking for Mini.
Oh,
able to take him
Mini.
down. He one-shot Mini. And now, can he drain tank? No, not quite enough to get through Eli Man. Death Lotus and Altera have to try to get away with these Baron buffs. They got Mini, but they didn't get anyone else, unfortunately. And there's still enough threat from the side of Evo that they have to escape. Death Lotus and Altera are going to hold on to their Baron buffs, but Evo still might come out on top. And now with an Elder Dragon spawning in 30 seconds, it just gets even more and more scary. They don't have time to set up these waves and really make use of the buff that they just stole.
Yeah, unfortunately, the fight was pretty much going in their favor. Like you had said earlier, just get the buff and back out. It's a lot harder for Evo to commit to these hard pushes if they didn't have the Baron buff. Even though Mini is your, go-to person to clear the wave, Evo Wild Ray could definitely clear out some of this wave, but doesn't really want to push. Eli Man kind of has to step forward, which is pretty much what Jinx wants to go ahead and trade. But still, should have backed off, but here we are fighting for Elder.
Yeah, Elders started up. Scrams has to try to get in there. There's still 14,000 health on it, so it's not a big hurry. Hopefully he knows that. They need the rest of the squad. They do finally have that minion wave pushed in mid lane. It's not like a big bit of pressure, but it's at least something. Scrams now looking for the turn. 6,000. D-leashes now. That's pretty big. Winged gets the root down onto the Ornn. In comes the Ornn Horn. In comes the Trundle. They're looking for Wing to start off. A big knock-up, though, from Trustiest Karma. They'll just layer those together. Eli Man chews on through. There's just no one falling on the side of Evo Blaze, and they'll get the full team wipe. But it's a triple kill for Eli Man. A double kill for Mini. The full house, as it were. Now objective bounties are up. Awesome. How useful.
Yeah, unfortunate turns of events there. Trustiest Karma getting a really nice Ornn ult, not only onto one but three people on that fight, and obviously Evil Vision followed up with that with his ultimate as well. It's just you expect Evo to take a lot of damage from the Elder buff, from the Elder Dragon. But because of that Mountain Soul, they were able to stay pretty much full HP the entire time, and there was just no way RotM can turn it around.
Yeah, so 1-0 in favor of Evo. They'll have a chance to close the series, and RTM looking for a chance to strike back. We'll take just a short break. We'll be right back. How do they have more people in here now?
I believe one of their maybe one of their coaches had joined to spectate.
They had 2 coaches in the last lobby, and now there's a different person.
I'm not entirely sure.
How many coaches do they need?
Well, I guess a lot for them to say, hey, just pick Zeri.
Yeah, that seems like a lot of coaches to build a protect the Zeri comp, but no, more power to him.
Yeah, really unfortunate game one, but nonetheless, still, there's always a chance to come back and do a reverse sweep.
Operation keep Maris and Atlas up longer.
Yep.
I'll say this to the stream rather than typing it in the chat. They, someone on there, whoever Spencer is, asked, we all are for draft production too. And like, this is not a produced, like heavily produced thing that we're doing. So I said Lamau production. I resisted the urge to say produce these nuts, but like, I can say this to the stream rather than typing that in the chat. No, I'm not trying to get us a bad reputation, you know. We're just trying.
I really wish he did that. I would have gifted 20 subs.
Damn, I missed a lot of money in my bank account. Anyway, we're into draft for game number 2. The noticeable change is that Zeri is now banned. Fair enough.
You gotta respect that.
Oh, wait,
gotta respect the Zeri ban.
All right, you get the respect. And the Tarek first pick for... All right. All right.
I hope we're going to see it. I really hope we're going to see it. I'm not going to say who, but I hope we're going to see it.
I think that by law it is a flex pick. So I think we can say that much. But picking it B1 almost gives away that it is a flex pick, right? You don't tend to just slam down something unless you're, really taking it away. And EVO Blaze is going to head right back to the Ornn. Served them pretty well last game. No real reason not to. Boring champ, but, what do you do?
It's definitely something that they want to take away also from Toe Knuckles, because they pretty much didn't have that many picks available for a front line after the top lanes got banned out on the second round. So stealing the Ornn away from Toe Knuckles as early as possible is definitely something EVO wants to make sure they prioritize.
Oh,
pretty much in any front line.
Right. Yep, here it is. You can just run it back if you're EVO. You can slot in pretty much any ADC for Zeri. What I think is interesting, they didn't pick the Sivir, right? The Sivir was banned against them in game number 1. Left it open, gonna slam it down B2, and the Trundle also locked in for ROTM. Now that's kind of interesting.
Oh, but Twitch being picked up.
Are you feeling Twitch Morgana? I guess we could still see Cat on a Rat later, and you flex Morgana mid, like we saw last game. A couple of options available for EVO. Ban phase to come.
Wing being banned out now from Wing.
Yeah, I'm more interested where this Trundle is going for ROTM. Right?
Yeah, you have so much flex options. You have the Tarek that you can flex. Trundle you can flex. Sivir is obviously solidified going to bot lane. I've seen some people try to bring it out into the mid lane, but it's a solidified bot laner. Two really nice flex picks over for surprise party. They banned out the Yumi, so I'm pretty sure there's definitely gonna be a Morgana bot lane with Twitch. It would just make sense. You would want to give the Twitch a little bit more protection in its bot lane. If you're not gonna give him Yumi, you definitely want to give him the Morgana now.
Yeah, Cat on a Rat will not be this game. Getting a Cassiopeia from Winged as well. It's something I've seen him play every once in a while, but haven't seen him recently on it. There's the Rel. Interesting.
I love Rel. Rel is such a great champion.
Yeah, double supports with Mini on a hyper carry makes sense. So it's Karma locked in probably for Vision, Morgana in the mid lane for Wild Ray. Theoretically, you could flip those, and it's pretty much the exact same. But
this is looking like a dread draft, to be honest, for EVO. They stole a page from our book.
I don't know that Bing Bong would be caught dead on Ornn, but
he'll do it sometimes.
Nami. So that almost guarantees now that you see the Taric jungle or the Taric top, I guess, with the Trundle jungle. Those are both things that can happen.
If I'm surprised party, I definitely want to have a Trundle top lane. We've seen how much damage you can do to the Vi who gets shields from her passive last game. We've seen what they can do when it's being pocket, so imagine with a Trundle running at you with a Nami speed buff. I definitely do think that it's going to be a Trundle top lane. I hope it is, just so we can see Toe Knuckles smack them down with a hammer. But
now you got Pikachu potentially for the mid lane for Winged. There's still some shenanigans you could definitely do with like Trundle and mid lane in the right matchup. I mean, you basically know it's Morgana. It's going to be the Poppy locked in. It's the same draft from EVO Blaze with a couple of different champions, right?
Yes. Because the idea of it is pretty much the same thing. You have Ornn and Morgana who's going to just cause chaos wherever they're at in this team fight, like regardless of who they hit with their ultimate. But Poppy's being taken, or Trundle being taken away, you just substitute it with Poppy. You're still going to run them down and just do a bunch of damage on whoever it is that you target. And you have an ADC who you're going against in the bot lane now that you can't really see coming from blind spots during these team fights. So it's pretty much overall the same draft, except, like you said, just slightly different champions. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, no reason not to. You can run it all season long, I guess. And you know, some teams get known for just having one draft, and that's. Yeah. Oh, I messed up. Okay, I need to fix one of my overlays really quick. Because I'm dumb. I'm not dumb. I just did it wrong. Is this... That's not the color I wanted, but that's okay. We'll change it up. I accidentally deleted the Aegis logo from their slide.
Oh no.
Which is fine, because they're not here right now. I think it's been blue all season, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. That looks right.
Really nice draft coming out from EVO side. I definitely do like the idea that they're trying to continue to go with team fight, but run them down at the same time. RotM definitely has a little bit more defensive options this time. Taric was banned out last game. Sivir was also taken able to see the daylight as well. So now that they actually have champions that can also pretty much also cause chaos in these team fights, I'm really excited to see how RotM can improve now with the champs that they have this time. Are we going to see a little bit more aggressiveness in the bot lane? Are we going to shove in Twitch a little bit more? Do we show top lane a little bit more love? Will Wing Nation have a lot more better great ultimate? I'm really excited to see what RotM does with this team comp. It's a little bit of the same as the last one as well. The only difference is this time you have a little bit of security. You have Nami to pretty much disengage or re-engage on these fights. Sivir with her ultimate speed buff is definitely a hoot. You got Tarek's Radiance, which is pretty much a game changer for any team comp. So really, really good draft on both sides, but let's see who comes out on top.
Yeah. As we see these champions slot in, kind of how we thought it would be. It's the Trundle top for Toe Knuckles into the Horn, and the Tarek Jungle for Scrams, a Scram special that he's been working on and says is very good, and I want to see it. So
I love it. I played against it twice in solo queue. It is amazing. It is amazing. Especially if you pair Tarek with like an Echo, somebody who's gonna want to dive in. It's just nasty. Or Trundle as well. Tarek and Trundle is actually a really good combo. Trundle could just literally just run at you full speed while Tarek stuns you from half a monitor away. It's definitely a big sleeper right now. A big sleeper. Oh my god, and solo queue right now. As per tradition of me assisting and casting, who do you think is MVP so far in this series?
it's probably Mini.
I would
mean,
say Mini as
had the
well.
opportunity to pop off and then popped off. That's all you can ask.
Yeah, he did get the chance to pop off and literally pop off and die. But the whole purpose is I asked is because I've seen Eli make some great plays. Obviously, that first gank he did up in top lane, like we
Yeah,
mentioned before,
honestly,
high
I
risk,
really
high
like the way
reward.
Trustiest Karma controlled the team fights on the Ornn.
Yeah,
I thought that he played really well. Plus, he picked Ornn to give an extra 1,000 gold to Mini, so big
mhm.
MVP status there. Give the top
Yes,
laner some love.
yeah, really big shout out to him. Winged as well, did really well stalling out a lot of the fights they had last game. Just unfortunate endings in these fights, but unless though, he was a big like mess for Evo to deal with during these team fights. And obviously, we got to give it to Scram, stealing not only Dragon once but also Baron. Um, definitely, some sleeper picks right now in this matchup.
Well, 1-0 for Evo Blaze. Both teams looking to improve to 2-0 on the year. Both teams had pretty easy weeks last week, so was going to be a good matchup. And game one, very close for I honestly until the end. Like I don't know that there was bigger than a 3 or 4,000 gold lead at any point. So
Yeah,
both teams came ready to play, and both teams showed us a good game in game number one. But Evo just looking a little bit stronger on the day, but still very early times in this schedule. Um, it's a 9-week schedule. You play every team once, so you got a little bit of time to ease into the schedule. You get a week off in the middle that's kind of nice, and yeah, overall, it's a good schedule. Plus, it ends right before, like right as Worlds is heating up, so no risking the overlap into preseason.
I'm actually going to I believe it's quarterfinals. That's going to be held in New York.
Yeah, we were planning on going to the finals, but unfortunately, I think some things have fallen apart. I know a couple of other people are planning to go to a couple of other events, so might see about meeting some of the RotM guys at one of the events at least. Because yeah, I think Winged and a couple of others were planning on going to San Fran for the finals. I'm not 100% though. Or it might have been Atlanta.
I believe it's in
Well, the quarterfinals are in New York, and then they go
yeah,
to Atlanta for semis,
yeah, it's in
then
Atlanta. Yeah,
San Fran for the finals, after Mexico City for the first round. I like this background music I found. This is apparently the LCK highlight background music number 1.
Else highlight. Wait. What?
LCK highlight background music number 1. It's called The Road to Become a Champion. It sounds very LCK. I could hear this playing on their broadcast. I
I
haven't.
wonder how many they have.
I used to watch LCK like almost every night, but my job dictates that I can't be awake, so
Yeah,
I
I was
don't
just about to
anymore.
say that. I was just about to say I love to watch it whenever I can, but apparently my bedtime says something otherwise.
But yeah, LCK was always my favorite league to watch, followed by LCS.
Here we go though. 5 point on game 2.
I can't get hyped for a 5 point. I'm sorry.
Hype, hype in the chat.
Smitty in the house. Let's go RotM. All right. Well, somebody's
Oh,
hyped.
Smitty.
Your wife is.
Yeah, my wife is here. Yeah, he just begged for me back, and then I just got tired of it, and I felt bad at some point because, I did win everything on the divorce settlement, but nonetheless, still, I felt so bad, so
You
went ahead
watch
and take him back.
LPL every day. I There was always something that felt disconnected about the LPL stream to me. I don't know if they've changed it in the last couple of years, but I always had trouble watching LPL, not because the games were boring, because they're definitely not, but something about like the casters and the disconnect between them being in person and in a like away in a studio just didn't feel organic to me. So I always watched LCK. I always thought that was more fun to watch. It also helped that I'm a usually big LCK caster fan, but this current set I'm not as sold on.
I really love the old school LCS casting and LDC casting.
Have you ever
Back when
gone
we
back
had
and
the
listened
different
to it?
server.
It's actually kind of rough to listen to if you go back and
Yeah,
listen
it
to
is.
like
It really is.
season 3,
Some of
season
them are
4
good.
Worlds even. Like the hype moments are still hype, but the actual like analysis and just like their downtime and I don't know. I also think it's weird. They were talking about it a little bit on one of the LEC games I was watching last week. Mini is in a lot of trouble, has to use the heal in bottom lane. Um, a lot of sports, and I started originally doing hockey broadcasting, um, but a lot of sports you have like downtime, especially during possessions, and you don't want
Oh,
to
Wing
fill all the
Nation.
time. Yeah, Wing looking for the solo bolo. The ignite, and it is first blood for Winged. Okay, I'm just gonna keep talking. Sorry. um, but you have a lot of downtime, especially during possession times and during
Mhm.
times when you're changing out players and whatnot. League doesn't have that. League, like the caster expectation is that you guys just fill the entire dead time, and it wasn't always elegant. A lot of times it was. Specifically listening to Rivington, he would just talk about whatever he wanted to.
Oh,
Basically,
they're
like
going on Wing Nation.
he'd observe really nothing happening in the game and talk about it. It's really weird. Anyway, 1-0 for RTM. I'll let you talk for a little bit now.
Um,
Mini is
big pick, yeah.
Mini could just get boomeranged here. Okay, sorry. Now you can talk.
Um, I was gonna say that yeah, Mini seems like he's hating the matchup right now because of this unfortunate advantage of him getting shoved in. Oh, trust his karma not being able to knock
Yeah,
up there.
Toe is
But
fine.
nonetheless,
He
yeah.
never dies there.
But nonetheless, this is the struggles that they're gonna have now in this bot lane with the different matchups they had. Um, this is pretty much what they could have done last game as Jinx and Lulu. You could shove the wave so much that you're able to out trade. Is Solar die here? Okay, he's not.
Nope, still had flash available, so isn't gonna
Yeah,
die immediately. But now he's in a rough spot with his minion wave and trailing a little bit of CS already. Wave stacked up and pushing against him. He's got to take a back and teleport back. And Eli not gonna invest much more of his time. It looks like.
yeah, it's one of the unfortunate things that you have to just go through with Twitch. Like you have to just take the shoving that Sivir is gonna do. There's just nothing you could do about it. Once you get to a certain point, then it's your turn to go ahead and dictate the lane. But you just don't have enough attack speed to match up with Sivir throwing out. So this is what I should have seen last game from Death Lotus when he was on Jinx. This is exactly what you should be doing the same thing to Azeri. You want to shove in the lane and then force a trade.
Wait,
Because
Trustiest Karma, you can't take a trade here. There's so many minions. Okay.
that was close. That was very, very
He
close.
still can't walk up to the minion wave.
Sona goes with no
Toe could
flags,
just
though.
Q him. Okay, no, he got the level up.
Yeah, it's looking really nice right now for RotM. They're definitely taking a lot better trades compared to last game. Eli Man is bot lane though. I think he's trying to look for a gank.
It gets
Oh,
spotted.
yay, Deathloop, what are
Death
you
Lotus
doing?
just kind of walked into bonk range for him. Gets knocked into the
No.
turret. Ignite coming down. The damage finally comes through, and Mini on the board first.
Oh no, Death Lotus, you were doing so good.
Yeah, just a little positional misstep, walks a little too far into the bush, and Eli Man takes advantage of that one, pins him right into the wall, and nowhere for him to go at that point, and blows all of his summoner spells trying to get away. So it's rough times now, maybe for Death Lotus NA in the bottom lane, and Dragon going to be taking the 5th one of the series for EVO Blaze.
Wow, definitely unfortunate giveaway right there from Death Lotus. You kind of don't want to have you don't really have to defend that ward because the wave is going to be pushing into your side. So there's really essentially no reason to want to defend it. I mean, I guess because of like big macho man, I have bigger muscles than you type of thing. But still, like I just don't see the purpose of wanting to defend the ward, especially in melee range for Poppy. That's a little bit questionable. Maybe
Yeah,
the ward died out and he was clicking into the bush. It might have happened,
yeah,
but
I don't think it was intentional regardless, but
yeah,
it
a little
definitely looks
mechanical.
bad on the rebroadcast, on the replay. He'll be kicking himself. That's a huge little spike of damage. Wing goes
Oh,
in with the
Wing going
slicing
in.
maelstrom and gets the solo kill. Can he get out under? No, he's trapped. Well, you know, it's about sending a message, right? And that message is, I'm willing to kill myself to kill you. And now Wild Ray has to live with that information the rest of the game.
If I'm Wing, I'm taking that every day of the week. I don't mind having to go because when are you gonna get the opportunity again to do this again on Morgana in mid lane? I mean, it's already hard enough that she has a black shield against you, but she at a certain point she's also going to be able to match up the speeding power that you are doing right now to her earlier on into this game. So if I'm Wing, I'm taking that every day. I don't mind getting a trade off. It's fine by me because I'm not going to get the opportunity later.
Yeah, plus you did get the minion wave shoved, like technically probably come out ahead
Hmm.
in gold in there, so it's probably technically a good trade. It just is a little silly. You'd like to get out of there. Oh, well, Terra.
Very aggressive. Very aggressive there. Nice trading. I mean, but this is what you want. You want to force Twitch to either take the farm or just take the trade because he's gonna miss out on something. And if he misses out on the gold of the minions or potentially getting uh forced to recall early onto the laning phase, it's definitely gonna suck for him. So I like that they're being more aggressive now in this bot lane. Pretty much everywhere in general, not just bot lane. They're being aggressive everywhere in these trading
Yeah, this
in
is
every
kind of
lane.
interesting. Vision split a little bit for Mini there. Has to try to use the positional muscle, and they have Eli in their pocket, so it's going to force Death Lotus and Altera to back off unless they want to be ganked by Poppy.
Yeah, hopefully they let go of the word this time.
I think it's interesting. Toe opted for lethal tempo up here on the Trundle. I think I'd like to see a grasp into the grasp, but maybe he'll get to
Oh,
use
Toe
that one a
doesn't
little
win
bit
this.
later on. Yeah, Toe has to use the subjugate, now trying to turn it back around. If he can stand there and like sustain bonk him, he does win. He'll eventually start to drain him down. Scram's in the area, not quite there in time, and Testes Karma gets the solo kill. I don't think Scrams actually kills him. He's trying to buy time for Wing to get up here. In comes Wing. Oh, the dazzle doesn't quite land there from Scrams.
Oh, Minnie's looking go
Mini's
in.
on the flank. Eli Man's here. Big tidal wave though from Altera, and gets the bubble down. That's gonna save Death Lotus for sure. Nicely played by Altera.
Yeah, really nice tidal wave to stop Eli Man and Evil Vision to come out to assist this the Twitch that was pretty much dead set on wanting to all in the Sivir. And a nice bubble there to make sure he doesn't continue to throw out damage. It was really great disengage. Altera played that very well.
Yeah, Eli Man trying to make the other 6,788 Eli
Oh my
Mans
goodness, that's
proud.
a lot of damage.
Yeah, and he doesn't even really have items. Like, he's got Sork shoes and 2 amp tomes. And he's already very threatening again on Wild Ray. Has the Ignite available plus the Slicing Maelstrom. If he gets the chance, you know he's looking for Wild Ray.
Yeah, he has, it's like a deer in headlights. He has his sights on Wild Ray. I'm pretty sure he's gonna want to go in. Toe's actually smacking some damage up here.
Yeah, he's down 2 levels and still taking trades up here.
Eli Man is looking to head up topside though.
Yeah, this is a little bit risky now as Toe has to try to get away from the Poppy. Oh, flashes
Nice
one
flash
knockup.
there.
Yeah, and he's actually fine because of it, so. Flash used successfully, and now mid lane, Rift Herald going to be dropped. Shelly get the crash in, and Winged and Scrams will be a little bit richer for their trouble.
If RotM plays this actually pretty really good right here, they're gonna want to clear out this bot wave, let Wing reset, so that way when Dragon spawns, Wing will have an item advantage against
They might be
Eli.
looking for this first anyway. They have Winged up on the tri-bush. No roam just yet from Wild Ray, but now Eli Man gonna find him.
Oh
Gets
no,
him
Eli.
separated, gets a little pin into the wall. He's gotta try to get away, just dodges the dazzle and the bubble. Stun from Winged has already knocked him down to about a quarter health. Winged looking for the engage. Mini is here. In comes the Cosmic Radiance though. Damage over the wall only onto Eli Man. Now the dazzle finally comes through. They're looking for Mini. Death Lotus is just trying to get into range to help out Scrams. Very low, gets the dazzle and the stun onto Mini. And so they trade Altera for Mini and Eli Man. It's man advantage for ROTM as they look potentially for this dragon. Scrams has to be a little bit careful. He's only got like 200 health.
I feel really bad for Altera there. She almost made it out on time, but was just out of range for the Cosmic Radiance to go down. It was almost clean. She almost got out of there, did everything she could. They followed up really well, making sure Mini couldn't continue to get any more damage out. Ran out of mana. Ignite was on him. And really, really good fight right there for RotM, even though they pretty much evened out on kills almost. But nice pickup and kills. Great dragon pickup. Is Toe gonna die here?
I think, yeah. I was correct.
Yeah, unfortunate for Toe.
He's just trying to exist in the lane against Trustius Karma, but he's falling a little bit behind the 8-ball in terms of items and in terms of damage, and even opting for a Bomby Cinder. I guess he's gonna build a Chem Tank, maybe.
I want to say with Toe drawing that much pressure up there, it has been working really well for RotM. Because Eli and Wild Ray have to respond to that, you do get some damage from the Rift Herald onto mid lane. You got the Dragon first. You won the team fight, so it definitely is an underrated position right now for Toe. He's drawing a lot of pressure up to this top lane. Eli has to respond to it, or else pretty much it's just gonna be a smack fest, and Toe will win that. But I think right now it's still gonna be an advantage for EVO, wanting to pressure that top side. It's just gonna be a repeat of last game. They want Trusty's Karma to get out from this lane and start roaming down to this mid lane or bot lane.
Yeah, Winged having a good time in the mid lane right now. The lone bright spot, I guess, on the map for ROTM. Although Scrams is once again out farming Eli Man. Has more kill participation early on, so we'll have to keep an eye on the Taric scaling. And now he's going to slip into the alcove up in top lane. I think he got spotted by Trustius Karma, though. Just judging.
Nope, pings.
Nope, never mind. Oh, the interrupt on the dash. The pillar comes out. Now Toe looking for the engage onto Eli Man. Vision is here, though, to help swing this one into a 3v2, and that will be enough for the ROTM boys. They're really buzzing around this Rift Herald. It doesn't spawn for at least another minute, just judging by the hourglass on the map.
Yeah, but it's nice to see this aggression. This is basically what EVO was
they're
doing
looking
last
for the
game.
dive onto Toe. They get the knock up onto him. Does he have Subjugate? He does have it. Just no ability really to pop it. Now finally able to pop it. Gets the healing back. He gets the turn. He gets the kill onto Eli Man. It's a huge amount of healing. Winged is here to maybe make this a a little play. He's got flash available if he can get into range. Mini is just hanging around. He's stealthed. They don't know where the Twitch is, and they have to try to account for that right now. Scrams has to be careful about who he face checks into. Now the Rift Herald is spawned, but that's not particularly important. Death Lotus is just wailing away on this bottom lane tower.
Yeah, really good discipline there. Not trying to find more after they get the pickup kill on Eli, because you have to respect the Twitch. He already has an item advantage right now over everyone in the game. So it's really good to make sure to have that discipline. We don't look for more because we don't see the Twitch. Really good discipline there. And really big play there for Toe Knuckles. Getting his subjugate off just in time to be able to stay alive on that tower dive. I'm not sure if they understood how they wanted to execute that. It seemed like Chester's Karma didn't want any part of it, but still, really good turnaround for. Oh my
Oh,
goodness!
and Mini's in trouble in the mid lane. Wing just annihilates him. His 4th kill of the game with the Proto Belt Flash Ignite combo.
Winged Nation came to play. And they actually might pick up Trusty's Karma here. They're actually wailing across. Scrams is just stunning the hell out of him, and he just can't get out. Is he gonna burn to? Nope, he gets away.
He's just fine. Everything is fine. There's nothing weird that happened there. He's just gonna go and collect himself back in base for a little bit.
They see the true power of the Tarek jungle.
Yeah. Sheila's available for Scrams. He's got the opportunity to drop that down, burst open a tower either in mid or bottom lane because those have both been chunked through. Looks like they're saving it to set up for this first Infernal Dragon, potentially here in 30 seconds.
Yeah, they managed to swing big there. Wing picking up a great pickup kill right there on the mid lane onto Mini. That doesn't set him back too much. He's not too worried about losing that match because he does get a lot of gold back up on his bot lane. Not that difficult spot for EVO to be in at the moment, but it's going into RotM's favor right now. They're getting a lot of small wins right now, but it's not really transitioning so much into the gold lead.
Yep, Dragon is now alive, and ROTM going to be the first ones on it. Toe still opting to scrap away. He's got the subjugate on Trusty's Karma, the knock up into the tower. That's really nice from the Ornn. Look at how big, how small the model turrets. That always cracks me up. Just the size difference when you get subjugated. Just a little Ornn. He's just a little guy. Dark Binding not quite going to land there from Wild Ray. They're looking for this. This is a really dangerous little choke point for EVO to be in. Mini on the flank. Oh, if Wing can spot him out, that's huge. In comes the Poppy. Oh, it doesn't actually knock into Wing. They get the Cosmic Radiance in. It's a big dazzle. He gets the Terra Gold. He turns around. It's a killing spree for Winged, and they'll pick up one extra as well. Vision and Wild Ray forced to flash away, and ROTM picks up 2.
That was such a good play there by Scrams, saving Winged Nation's life with Cosmic Radiance, and also going forward, he actually gets a 3-man stun because he's connected to Winged Nation. Gets the stun onto Eli, gets the stun onto Mini and Vision there. That was such a great play there by Scrams, saving Winged Nation while also being able to pick up 3 kills there, or 2 kills there.
Yep, they'll grab a mid lane tower as well, which completely evens the gold lead, and they'll pick up their second dragon of the game and get their first little dragon advantage of the series.
Great momentum going right now for RotM. Like I said, they're doing a lot of small wins, and even though it's not transitioning to the gold lead like I mentioned earlier, it's still nice to see because you want to have Wing Nation ahead of Morgana. You want to have Death Lotus ahead of Mini 44. You want to have your solo lane, your mid lane and your bot lane ahead in this matchup, just because of the comp that it is. It's like the same as last time. All the eggs are onto Mini's basket, and the same thing for RotM's side. You have pretty much Wing Nation right now, just putting the load on his back.
Yeah, Death Lotus doing a decent amount of damage, starting to scale nicely into the game on the Karma as well. So isn't exactly any slouch, but you can see the kind of 2-man game versus the 1-man game, and Scrims on the Tarek has been kind of the difference maker in these fights. The big dazzle, the big Cosmic Radiance. We'll see if he can continue finding those big moments for ROTM.
Yeah, the game slow little by little, the game is being chipped away and it's going into Ronald's favor. I hope they can continue to making these plays because little by little, they're going to suffocate EVO out of the map. They're about to get this bot lane turn. They already got the first tower onto mid lane, and then all that's left is just pressuring the top side,
Deathlotus
which
hits
is
the on the hunt. They're looking for Wild Ray. He has defensive abilities available, but just going to take about half of his health in damage. They know that Mini and Vision are probably on the way after they've left mid lane, so... Now, ROTM with a gold lead. Ooh,
yeah, 1K gold lead.
let's go.
It's the small victories that matter. But in all seriousness, it is going to be tough for Wild Ray to match up the pushing power that RotM has. Obviously, we saw early game Wing Nation able to push the hell out of his lane and tower dive. Death Lotus now able to be almost at a second item where he's just pretty much just one-shotting the minion wave with just his Ricochet and Boomerang Q. So it's going to be hard for Wild Ray to kind of match up this split pushing or any split pushing that they have coming their way. So I wonder if we're going to see a lot more aggressive four-man plays with this draft for EVO. When Deathlos was going in, trying to go for a Wild Ray, you saw they were all four roaming bot lane. So they want to respond together, but it's not really working on their favor. It's kind of like a tug fest. They send all four bot, and they're just going to get vision on the top side of the map. They send four top, they're just going to solo kill bot lane, like right now.
Yeah, Winged looking for Wild Ray. The Zanya's popped. Gets the Soul Shackle. Winged. Does he have anything left? He's got the stun, the ignite. It's cleansed. The damage from the minions.
Is he gonna go down?
No.
Nope, it's not enough.
We're really focused on him. He's at 22. He was a little bit lower previously, so probably around 19. We're still just watching this man walk back to base. Thank you, directed camera. I mean, there's nothing else happening on the map, to be fair. There we go. The dramatic zoom in on Morgana walking back to base.
Really nice pickup for Wing Nation, going straight away to buying the Shadow Flame. He's gonna be burning through Eli Man and Wild Ray right now once they start team fighting more often.
Yeah, now he does extra damage if the target's shielded. So you put that black shield on him, and it's actually a little extra pop to Wing Nation's damage, which isn't exactly the shield breaking item that was promised, but it helps just a little.
TP available for both top laners. It looks like EVO wants to be really aggressive here onto this mid lane.
Yeah, they're looking for Death Lotus. He does have the spell shield, but still gets pushed back a little bit. That was kind of interesting. You would have thought she would dash all the way through. But
yeah, it seems like EVO's just trying to make these desperate plays because they understand they're slowly losing the game away to RotM. So they're trying to make these desperate plays. They're trying to be as aggressive as possible while also making sure they prioritize the right targets. Death Lotus was the correct target, but come on, spell shield and he has Terror.
RTM just choosing mid lane prio right now. Flash forward from Eli.
Eli comes in.
They get the pin onto Altera, but that's not really the target they need. Two-man knockup coming through. Altera now throws out the Nami ult. Re-engage coming through. The Nami is the first victim of the fight. Winged looking for a way in. Now hits the slicing maelstrom. Flashes into the backline. It's a huge ult. He takes down one in the backline. We watch Scrams tear through the Poppy. And it's 3v3 on the map right now. Toe, Scrams, and Winged versus Wild Ray, Karma, and Vision. Dazzle lands onto Trustiest Karma. There's just not a whole lot of damage left on either side. So it looks like it's a no contest on the fight. It's a tie. Or no decision, not no contest, excuse me.
The Cosmic Radiance almost was able to finally touch down, and it would have saved Altera. But nonetheless, still, she stalled that fight out as long as possible. Mini had it back up so far out just because of the tidal wave, and had to respect Wing Nation flashing in, throwing down his ultimate. He just had to respect it, and he got one shot out of that.
Yeah, they're looking for Trustiest Karma. This is a slap fight if I've ever seen one. Scrams now. The smite going after Vision, now choosing to peel back onto Trustiest Karma. Winged and Toe are a little bit low,
Mini's
but getting constantly healed back. Mini is here. Altera's back, but that's not quite as threatening as Mini being there. In comes the spray and pray over the top. Scrams gets taken really low, but they lose Wing Nation, and that means that the Dragon should go over to EVO Blaze.
It was almost a really good turnaround for RotM there. The unfortunate part, Wing was already too low from having that flash ult that he did earlier on in this fight. They do lose out on the
Well,
dragon,
Q?
but
Oh, okay.
oh, close. They do lose out on this dragon. Not a big deal. They do lose the 1K Goldie. It's now a 2K deficit, but still, not the worst fight. It's not over. Just got to make sure we continue making these plays centered around Wing.
It's a 200 gold deficit.
Yes. Oh, now it's different now. Yes.
Oh, well,
My
300.
apologies.
Now 100. It's everywhere.
It was almost 2K. I swear. I have eyes.
Yeah? All right.
But in all seriousness, that was a really good fight coming from EVO. Like we said earlier, they want to make these desperate plays. They don't care what the result is. They're just going to live with it as long as they make sure Mini survives in these fights. Obviously, Mini was able to get into these that last fight a little bit earlier than Deathloaded just because of his stealth. But nonetheless, still, EVO wants to look for these types of fights where
Ooh,
they
Wing's
get to
gonna
these
get
fights
spotted
first.
by Elay, man. Just
That is a
push
lot
back out
of
of this
damage.
bush. Dark Binding lands. He's looking for the Soul Shackle. Do they actually have the damage? Doesn't look like it. That's the Morgana ult down, which I don't know that you can really take advantage of. There's no neutral objective. Like, there's Baron, but it's a... I don't feel like either team is going to be confident enough to posture for Baron right now. It doesn't feel like that sort of game just yet. Usually you want to feel like you have a little lead before you go to Baron, or you're desperate enough because you're too far behind. And right now, because it's so close, I think neither team really wants it.
It's gonna be nice to see who EVO decides to send up top lane the mat or in whatever lane Wing Nation actually goes to farm in. Do you send Wild Ray who can potentially get one shot? Do you send your frontliner with Trusty's Karma? Because Poppy's not all the tankiest. Poppy's actually very squishy still. Only has um Mercury threads for MR, and that's not enough for Wing Nation. Wing Nation is way too powerful right now, so it's gonna be interesting to see how Evo wants to respond to Wing Nation looking to split. I'm guessing they're gonna want to send Wild Ray, but it's just gonna repeat of solo kills.
The
Let's
Zanya's,
see
I
what
think,
happens with them.
helps
It
mitigate
does.
that a little bit. You
Yeah, it
don't get
does.
blown up in one rotation, plus you get your own back up, and you have the healing and the whole thing. I I think Wildray is okay. Like, not ideal, maybe, but you can live. You won't die
Mhm.
in a side lane. Even
Deathloop's
being a
also
little
finishing
careful.
that Phantom Dancer. That's actually pretty big for him.
Yeah, he's got a lot of power now. Even with the last whisper, in addition, means that Trustiest Karma isn't going to be the safest now. Also, he's built a lot of armor and magic resist. He's got the Force of Nature as his third item, plus the Winter's Approach. So it's a lot of health, not a huge amount of armor right now. So Death Lotus with the armor shred should really tear through him.
Yeah, this man is slowly turning into a raid boss. Almost an Elden Ring boss, if I may say so myself. That I did beat yesterday.
Yeah,
100% legit.
nice.
No hacks.
No hacks. One of
Oh,
my
are they
favorite
gonna
games
catch
I've played in a
Altera?
while. But yeah, Altera in a little bit of trouble.
Oh no.
Eli pins her into the wall, the flash over.
Oh, she gets out.
Just getting out of her safety. We're losing words now at 9:30 p.m. on a Tuesday night. Lovely.
Yeah, that's definitely something a position they definitely don't want to be in. Obviously, she has to burn. Altera doesn't have to burn flash, but it's not the end of the world. You managed to get out of it. That's the whole purpose. This definitely is feeling a repeat of last game for EVO, where they're trying to suffocate as much vision out from ROTM, but still, they have to. What is that? Eli just ran through the first tower.
Yeah, you know,
Okay.
why not? 50 seconds to go before a dragon spawns. Dragon number 3 for each team, so really not... Realistically, when you're in this situation, you should think that the dragon isn't as valuable as a map play if you can make a map play. But I feel like nobody thinks like that, and we'll probably just see another scrap over this 5th dragon.
Yeah, this dragon will definitely put both teams in a really good position should either one of them grab it. If I am RotM, I definitely want to prioritize this Baron over this dragon.
Yeah, that's also a consideration. Well, Deicide and Wormfall and Sacrifice coming through on the side of EVO. Starting to stack those up. Plus, you had the Leander's Lament already on Wild Ray, who has gone for a Smite with her Unshield Spellbook. So, have to worry about the Morgana walking in and smiting away your dragon
Oh
now.
no!
Oh, and Death
Death
Lotus
Lotus.
gets bound up. The Dark Binding comes through. Knockup lands. Scrams is able
Cosmic
just...
Radiance.
Oh, it doesn't actually get the Cosmic... Oh, it was Altera that didn't get it. But now Winged is in... just trying to zip through. They trade 1 for 1, but both ADCs... Actually, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Toe trying to get in. It's a double kill, though, for Wild Ray. The flash into the backline with the Soul Shackle. Winged and Scrams are able to fight their way out. Toe is still left alive, but Mini, importantly, is still alive on the Twitch. You have to watch the Twitch now in these fights. He stealths in. Is he going to be spotted? The Dazzle comes through from Scrams.
Oh,
Wing
Vision.
just trying to heal back up. Scrams is doing so much damage. Vision playing very carefully. This stun now lands onto Trustiest Karma, but he's got the Searing Charge back away. Scrams, Toe Knuckles, and Wings still looking for their big way into this fight. They'll get the slow onto Trustiest Karma. Winged is looking for anything that he can. Now they should spot Mini on that Vision. The Pillar going to mitigate some of that approach. It hits
Mini.
the Dazzle, gets Mini, and Toe is able to tear on through. Trustiest Karma in trouble. Able to flash away from the Dazzle now, and Vision escapes, but the Dragon should eventually go to ROTM. But now Eli has respawned, and he's walking his way back in. Death Lotus and Altera are walking in from base, but Eli is going to be there significantly earlier. Toe is just going to go ahead and try to zone out. Still 7,000 health to go on this Dragon. This is getting a little silly. Yeah, TP coming in from the Morgana and the Ornn. It's a double TP. In comes the Ornn Horn. Scrams. Oh, it's stolen by Eli Man as he walks on in. Altera trying to escape, but he can't escape the Ornn. Meanwhile, Kennen dies to Morgana up on the top side of the fight. But Death Lotus is still alive, trying to wheel in some of these boomerangs. Scrams can't find a stun. Just can't quite buy the range this time. And he'll get sent away by the Poppy ult. Disaster for ROTM in the Dragon Pit.
Just chaos after chaos. It was going so well for RotM. They didn't initially win the first team fight. It kind of swung EVO's way. But we see the power of the Taric jungle once again. Just running them down. Running them down and extending these fights as long as possible. And it got to the point where eventually Wild Ray just ran out of mana. And Vision just could not shield as many opponents as possible. And then Mini, unfortunately, missteps and get caught out. So... It's definitely a back and forth tug fest there. You definitely have RotM coming back from the fight that they were losing and then only to give up the dragon. I know it's kind of hard. You have to respect the smite from Morgana, and then you got to respect the smite from Eli Man. So it's definitely a hard position to be in for RotM. Intense 2 minutes, and I think we're gonna see more. Oh, okay, never mind. They back off.
Yeah, we're grouping up around this Baron now. EVO think that now they're at a significant enough advantage that they can force ROTM off of the Baron, and they might be right. Trustiest Karma, though, sitting at about half health, has to be a little bit careful about the way that he enters. They hand the blue buff to Toe Knuckles. That's kind of interesting. Wing doesn't really need it, but...
It's going to be interesting now how RotM is going to respond. Obviously, you have to have the Taric centered around these plays now. Yes, Winged is pretty much where your gold is being funneled into, but Scrams is what's being the playmaker for this team right now with his Cosmic Radiance and just the power of him able to extend these fights. You want to make sure that Scrams is involved. Unfortunately, last fight he did get shifted away by Poppy's ult, so definitely a disadvantage for RotM there, but still, can RotM extend these fights long enough for Wing Nation and Death Lotus to pump out this damage?
So Trustiest Karma hit level 17. He handed out a Starcaster, and now he has handed out all of the ornaments. So you imagine another about 4,000 gold represented on the side of Evo Blaze, plus level 17 on Wild Ray. That experience matters at this stage of the game. They're up about 2 levels on their counterparts right now. A Wing not quite able to find the Q, the Shuriken onto Vision. It's just a little dance over this little barren area. Dazzle doesn't quite land. Death Lotus has to be careful about how he enters. Oh, Winged is looking for everything. He gets a 3-man slicing Maelstrom. They'll get the stun on to Eli Man, and they'll eventually take down the Poppy. The Ornn ult just to try to disengage, but they get the Dazzle at the end of that one. Mini gets the boomerang onto him. They should spot him, even though he's stealthed. And the shutdown goes to Scrams on Trustiest Karma. Mini and Vision are the last 2 left alive, but ROTM flips over the Baron area.
What a play right there coming out from Wing Nation, getting another three-man slicing Maelstrom. He is definitely putting the team on his back this game, alongside with Scrams,
Oh,
extending that
Mini.
fight as long as possible.
Mini has the ult. He's got the range. Gonna layer in now. Has the expunge. Oh, that was so close. Scram's able to smite secure the Baron, and ROTM now has the 3,000 gold lead of their own.
What a game. What a hecking game. We're slugging it out left and right. No time to talk, no time to rest. It's do or die.
Look at this Tarek build.
That is a very Chad Tarek build. I salute you, Scrams.
Yeah, all blue items, and then you go for the redemption on top of that one. I can respect that. The
The bust
redemption, of
down
course,
redemption.
doubles your heal and shielding power that you have. Your item healing and shielding power, so you get like 20% out of it. It's kind of nasty.
It really is. I
I'd
mean,
like
he's
to
already shielding for so much before that, so adding redemption is just even better.
Yeah, I'd like to see maybe another shield item picked up. You have the... Oh, looking for the Dazzle. I was going to say, you have the Ardent on the Nami, so it's probably a staff. Although maybe you let her pick up the staff as well. Who knows? We're walking it on in for this dragon. It represents Infernal Soul, though, for EVO Blaze, which is... once again, a scary proposition. ROTM getting some pressure in on mid lane, using that Baron buff to their advantage while they can. 5 seconds to go. Mini is separated from the team right now. He's up there with Winged. Winged can just kill this tower, and this is a position that Altera didn't expect the rest of Evo Blaze to walk into. They'll get the Dazzle. Toe Knuckles is collapsing from the side. Winged is just around in the battle bush. He's looking to make his entrance right now. In comes Winged. Oh, just chunks through Mini, and then gets sent away by the Poppy ult. Now without the Kennen, they're looking for the re-engage. In comes the Cosmic Radiance. Gets onto 4 people. Deathload is trying to just wheel in these boomerangs. They get the stun down onto Trustius Karma. They'll eventually chew through the Ornn, and it's 1-for-0. The raid boss is down, but Scrams is not looking too healthy himself as they back away.
This is the type of fight RotM needs to go for, making sure they run down EVO, choke them down to their turret. That was a great job, by the way, by Wing, separating Mini from his team. Just forced to stay under tower because he can't rejoin because of the minion wave.
And Winged has Slicing Maelstrom still. This is really dangerous to walk in for EVO, whether they know it or not. The binding does land from Wild Ray to try to help him get out, but he should eventually get pinched now, and yeah, he's really got nowhere left to run. They should... Oh, he's got the teleport! Never mind, he's out of there. Oh, I don't think they spotted it. They're going to be very confused here in a second.
Really big swing for RotM right there. The gold lead shifts over to 3K now. This is the momentum they need right now to go ahead and close this game out. Very, very clean execution on these team fights that they're having. I want to see if they can go ahead and close it out, but nonetheless, still, I'm ready to stay up a little bit longer for a game 3.
Yeah, we're headed to Dragon 7 here in 4 minutes as well. Gonna duke it out over that Infernal Soul. Winged is almost done with this Void Staff. Just a monster.
What are your thoughts on this third item, Zonia's from Mini?
Oh, that's interesting. I don't hate it. He needs a way to protect himself from Kennen. I would probably prefer Guardian Angel, because now you're really inviting just a lot of magic resist to come down from Scrams and Toe Knuckles. But I mean, the Zhonya's is theoretically more reliable than the Guardian Angel. I don't hate it. It seems fine.
Yeah, even though Twitch does have some AP in his kit, I definitely don't think it's a bad choice. I would have loved to see a Nash's Tooth instead, and then get the Guardian's Angel, but nonetheless, still, it's not that bad of an item. Because the way I see it is, okay, you press Zonia's, now what? You got Toe Knuckles standing on top of you. You got Scram standing on top of you. Wing Nation ready to follow up with the combo. It's gonna be really hard for him to come out as Zonia. At least this way with Guardian Angel, it buys them time for someone to get there to help him out.
Yeah, top lane tower gonna go down in favor of Return of the Middle Sticks. Baron's still 1:30, Dragon's still 3 minutes, so they have a little bit of time to ease their way through into whatever vision they want. Looks like Winged gonna grab a recall now probably pick up his Void Staff, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, pin into the wall, a little bit enterprising there from Toe Knuckles. He's got to use his flash to get out. Yeah, it is the Void Staff finished up for Winged, so pretty decent buy right before you're about to scrap over a potential Baron. Look at all the vision now for ROTM. Wild Ray's got to try to sweep it on out. He's got the last sweeper left for the team. Never mind. Eli's just came up. I shouldn't talk sometimes.
No, I definitely don't understand. This type of game we just have in our hands. Everyone's just going ape. That's pretty much it. It's just going ape. Like, it's a 3-game series. EVO wants to do these risky plays to close out the series. RotM wants to fight to survive. There's not really much time to talk. It's just a slugfest back and forth. But anyways, RotM is getting recontrol of their vision that was cleared out onto the enemy red side. However, it looks like EVO is trying to look for a play here. Ooh, Wing Nation
in a
gets
little bit of trouble. Yeah, Dark Binding plus the pool enough to chunk him down to about half health, and now they have to find a way to heal him back up. There's a fruit there. I guess he just missed it. That probably would have been nice to have. Although, just walk back to the minion wave and have Tarek and Nami heal you. That also works.
We're nearing the 41-minute mark. Did you ever think this game would extend this long?
Yeah. Honestly, both teams want to play for about this time. This is... And given how even we saw the game number 1, Wild Ray might have made the mistake. Pillar from Toe Knuckles, maybe he's the one that's caught as he gets pinned into the wall. They're looking for Wild Ray. They force him into the Zanyas.
No.
Oh, it's a huge poppy ult from Eli, man. Toe Knuckles has to try to run away. He's got the ground to get on. Now the re-engage from ROTM. Dazzle lands onto Wild Ray. Now he's got no Zanyas, and Wings finishes him off. Altera's down, though, and in comes the teleport from Trustiest Karma. He's looking on the backside. Wing goes in. It's the Zanyas from Mini, but he'll get chunked through. It's a double kill for Winged. Meanwhile, they lose Sivir back on the other side, and it's still 3v3, but the health bars are so good for ROTM comparatively. Mini and Eli are very low. Now Scrams walks in. He finds Trustiest Karma just on the backside. Toe Knuckles trying to get in. The Dazzle doesn't quite connect there from Scrams. Winged, do they eventually even chunk through this one is maybe a question we have to ask ourselves. Trustiest Karma just using the full amount of his health bar, and now Baron going to help them out just a little bit as well. Has the flash over the wall. They can't do Baron, so no real objective gain for ROTM. It's a 2 for 2. I don't know who that benefits.
What a slugfest. For Eli first getting a very, very beneficial Keeper's Verdict onto 3 members of ROTM. That was a solid ultimate, and they were actually able to follow up the fight pretty well, but unfortunately, Mini just got obliterated by Wing Nation, forcing to use Zonias and pretty much just eventually fall out. Really nice fight, extended fight once again from RotM. This type of fights they want to go for. They want to stall out the fight as long as possible.
Well,
and here we go
this
for Soul.
is Infernal Soul. Winged is in a lot of trouble. Keep in mind, he's got no Zanyas, but they have the Cosmic Radiance down onto him. Trustiest Karma in trouble. He's just
Tidal
getting
Wave!
wailed on by everyone. The Tidal Wave knocks up everyone. Mini now is just kiting back away. He's got the Twitch ult just churning through, but the health bars are staying so high for ROTM. Now Winged into the back line. Dashes through. It's a triple kill for Wing Nation. They'll finish that one off. It's an ace for Return of the Middle Sticks.
I almost fell out my chair. It's just so much content.
They'll run it on down mid lane. They have the minion wave pushing. They're going to try to threaten to end, I imagine, but there's still 40 seconds to go on the death timers. Here we go. Nexus, or Inhibitor turret down. Inhibitor down. And now the Nexus turret's under fire. Yeah, there's 24 seconds. It looks like they're going to be able to close this one out. I hate them so much.
Get the Silver Scrape, boys. We're going to game 3.
I don't know about Silver Scrapes on game 3. Well, here we go. Series tied at 1. We'll be back with game number 3.
I'm hyped. I don't know about you.
I'm very tired. I'm already exhausted tomorrow.
Doesn't matter. I'll stay up any time of the night as long as we get a RotM win.
If they're dragging me this long, they'd better win.
Oh, with game 2 now coming to a close with a RotM win, hashtag RotM win. Any updated MVP picks now?
It's probably Wing now, yeah. That's
Yeah, I definitely do agree.
That's 2 strong games for Winged. We're waiting on Scrams to reorder, I guess. So
Solving the Jenga puzzle.
I was hoping I could just jump into spectate and then leave because I want some water, but you know, sometimes this happens. I successfully made it down to spectate. I'll be back.
Like a line just to get to the spectators bench. Everyone's just playing musical chairs right now. Is it safe to join now? Okay, it is now.
Are they drafting?
They are starting now.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna throw up the draft and then you're gonna talk about it, and I'm gonna walk my dog really quick.
Yep, no problem.
There you go. Go ham.
All right, gamers, we are going for game 3. It is too late at night for me to continue. All right, Silver being banned out on EVO's side. Not that bad of a ban out. I mean, Deathlows was doing some pretty good work last game. Zeri being banned out, respectable ban against Mini. All right. So, Evil's first 3 bans, Sivir, Wukong, and Vigar. And they steal away the Taric with the first pick. Wow. They saw how powerful it was on the hands of Scrams. They definitely don't want to have that again. Really nice way to steal the pick, though. It's smart not to ban it out because if you can steal it away, definitely want to do so. Same bot lane bans we got going on for RotM, taking away Mini, Samira, and Zeri, and also Visions Renata. Um, some solid bans, the same ones we've seen all 3 games so far. Um, Misfortune, first pick for RotM. I like that a lot. I really do. I like that a lot. That's actually pretty good. Not really as the best against the Taric though, because obviously Cosmic Radiance negates a lot of damage that Misfortune wants to pump out. But nonetheless, still, let's see exactly how fast this Taric will be able to keep up. Is this going to be a jungle pick? Is this going to be a support pick? Where are we going to see it in? GP being picked up to go against Trundle over in the top lane once again. Interesting. Very interesting draft so far. Diana. Okay, so a little bit of flexing going on over here for EVO. We could definitely see a Diana mid lane. Not something you want to see anymore. Diana's obviously more stronger into the jungle side, but still, it's a nice way to flex. You got Gangplank who can go mid. You got Diana who can go mid. Diana who can also go jungle. Taric who can go jungle or support. Evo's doing a really nice job flexing their picks really well. Obviously, for Surprise Party, it's a different story. You already revealed their bot lane with the Misfortune and Nami now being locked in. So we're gonna be running it back on the bot lane, except this time it's not a Sivir, it's a Misfortune. Trundle being sent again to the top lane. I don't think this is going to be a good matchup for any 3 or any of the 2 picks Evo has. Obviously, GP going into Trundle. I'm sure Trundle wins that later on. Same thing for Diane. I'm sure he wins that later on. It's going to be pretty hard for Tono to keep up that pressure top lane if he's going to get camped like he was last game.
All right, so I'm back. Some extra information. It's a GP flex, but it's probably Wild Ray that's playing it in the mid lane.
Yeah, this is, like I was saying earlier, this is really nice flexing that Evo is doing. I don't really see any more flex options they could pick with these last 2 picks, but nonetheless, still, it's a pretty good draft on both sides.
Yeah, Aatrox and Mord going away as we've seen, which means that they're reading hard into the top laner not being here, so not going to be the Gangplank, not a weird Taric top coming out of Tristia's Karma. Also kind of interesting, they just leave the Ornn up that they've struggled with the last 2 games.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if they give Scrams the Trundle and they actually steal away the Ornn here.
While the Kennen taken away, what does ROTM want? Do they want to pick a mid lane matchup? A little bit blind, potentially? Do they want a top lane matchup? A little bit blind, potentially? It's a Vladimir?
Ooh, Vladimir.
Alright.
So RotM is definitely going for the late game. They don't wanna mess around too much early on in the game. They definitely want to make sure they scale a lot better on the late game, looks like so far. It's not a bad pick, but when you got AoE ults such as Cosmic Radiant, GP and Diana, it's kind of hard for Vladimir to keep up in a way with. Oh, Nyla.
We get a Nyla. My first Nyla game. How exciting. I only know what one of her abilities is called, but it's the important one, so we got it.
Nyla's actually not too bad of a pick against Misfortune. I mean, you do kind of lose out on a lot of damage levels 1 through 3, but once you hit that solid level 3, you could pretty much all in. Nami's a pretty squishy target. MF is a pretty squishy target early on. Sejuani being locked in on the final pick, so this is definitely a Taric support.
Yeah, in Sejuani plus Nyla is kind of the combo that you play with Nyla, right?
Yeah. If you can't get the Samira, might as well get Samira 2.0.
True. So now RotM, last pick, probably top lane, probably jungle apparently. It's going to be the Poppy. So they're sending Trundle into the Sejuani lane, and they'll have the Poppy in the jungle against Diana.
That is a very, very good jungle pick. Picking up Poppy last second for the side of RotM.
You have
This
to
is
worry a little bit just about because we're, gold platinum level. Just
yeah,
you can't send people away from the Vladimir and the MF ults. You got to keep them together there.
yeah, but essentially you can also keep the fight. You can make sure Nyla and Diana and Sejuani don't have the opportunity to engage on these fights. Obviously, it's going to be harder for for Poppy to body block Sejuani's ult, but the whole point is you're stopping Sejuani and Nyla and Diana from going forward at some point in this fight. That one time they stop the Diana dash or Nyla dash or Sejuani dash could be life saving for Misfortune. It could be life saving for Nanami to get away again. Like we seen last game, Scrams was doing a really great job protecting his teammates, keeping them alive long enough for these fights to be extended for so long. I wonder what they're gonna do this time with the Terry being played against them this time. Um, like I was mentioning earlier, Cosmic Radiance is gonna be protecting all of them against Misfortune's ult. It's gonna be protecting them all against potentially Tidal Wave and Vladimir's combo. So they're really gonna have to prioritize shutting down this bot lane and understanding where Taric is during these team fights, centered around Dragon and Rift Herald.
Sorry, I'm flipping the overlay on the draft screen. I don't know what I'd do if I had more complicated overlays than this. Things just wouldn't get done.
You wanna get a wager going?
Probably not.
Okay, never mind.
You want to do wagers when there's a lot of people in chat who are
Yeah.
talking, who will vote two different ways, and there's no one in chat. Unless I hear from like 4 people right now that they want to do a Gamba, we'll probably pass on Gambas. My
Watch
general
out,
rule,
get a
at
Gamba.
least. Usually people are just kind of watching the stream. I don't even know that a lot of them have the sound on. Sometimes I feel like I'm just yelling into the void.
No, don't say that.
Alright, well, at least Smitty's here. No one got my back, I know Smitty's got my back.
He's always here.
Well, how do you feel about the completely different look now from EVO Blaze? We had 2 games of we're going to funnel mini, and this one, we kind of just have so many damage threats that you can't focus on mini, is I guess the idea behind the comp.
It's definitely a risky comp to go at, because if any of the solo lanes fall behind, it's chaos, and especially the bot lane. If the bot lane doesn't manage to at least go even in lane, or if they get bullied out too much, then it's just going to continue to spell out a loss for EVO, because Nyla's a pretty squishy target for Misfortune. She does a lot of damage early on, so it's nice to see a change, because you want to see if something isn't like ultimately working, you got to change something up. They won game 1 with their play style only off of a few mistakes RotM was making. They couldn't pull out the win in game 2. So it's nice to see them coming up with a change of plans on game 3. But is this something they practiced? Is this something they were kind of planning last minute? Who knows? So far for RotM, it's still the same mindset. Stall out these fights as long as possible.
Yep, so 3 more minutes of delay, and then we'll get into game number 3. 1-1. Both games have been very close. Just a couple of fights, swinging it back and forth. And you've got team fights, you've got team comps again that just want to scale up to those team fights and then go at it. So I'd expect that we're going to see another long game and another banger here in game number 3. Oh my god. I clicked on something and it just had a sound with it. That was unexpected. maybe if I actually read the... Maris's dog going in on that toy? Yeah. He do be in on that toy, though. It's a weird... It's like a... What do they call it? A jumbler? It's got like a tennis ball inside of a... like, plastic ball. It's kind of neat. It also squeaks for some reason. Because of course it squeaks. Like, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it squeak? Atlas had to take a little break, so you get the Maris solo podcast for now. Talk about whatever I want. What do I want to talk about? Talk about how much I hate the DMV. We went there to get our car titles sorted, and boy, if we don't still have like 9 other things we still have to do, and we didn't get the car titles sorted. Really fun. This is kind of a banger. Anyway, here we go. Game number 3. 20 seconds to go before we get into it. We get a Nyla game. Any nihilists out there? Talk about how good Smitty is. Smitty's pretty great. He seems really flexible with his champion pool, which is really valuable right now because I think while we've seen range supports become kind of the flavor of the month, it's really important to still be able to play it in engaged support and have that role as well for your team. And it's good to have everything in your back pocket, you know? I'll hype up my boys. Plus, they're easily the best 2 seed. Don't worry about how the 2 seed bracket went. They're the best 2 seed. We believe in Dread in this household. Alright, we're into game. Game number 3. Onto the Rift. EVO Blaze on the blue side. Return to the middle 6. Surprise party on the red side. Wayne went Ghost as his second summoner spell. Kind of interesting. Wild Ray has his extra true damage poke with his first strike. Nothing particularly out of the ordinary on either side. I do think it's interesting Vision opted for the Glacial Augment rather than an Aftershock or a Guardian that might be a little bit more normal on the Taric, but... And by more normal, I mean not necessarily more normal, just like other options is probably a better way to phrase that one.
I agree.
I am curious what build Death Lotus is going to go for. He's got a Comet, which means that it could be the Liandry's into... I mean, he's already got the tiers, so the Manamune already seems like a given. So, Liandry's Manamune? Why am I saying it with a long A? It's Liandry's? Where am I from?
Liandry's mythic item for MF is not the it's not the best thing, but it's understandable like why would you want to go to it when you're Emaxing into Comet. So I think he'll most definitely go Liandry's. I don't know if we'll see it become an Eclipse instead. Highly doubt it, but yeah. You want the extra burn for Nyla though.
So you feel like that's a particularly good choice into the Nyla and Taric?
Oh yes, 100%, 100%.
Okay.
Just because like obviously with Nyla going in and just pressing W, I can't remember the ability's name. It pretty much becomes pointless. Like you do get the shielding from Eclipse, but then what? It has a pretty lengthy cooldown, and you got Gangplank we're talking about. You got Eli who's gonna one shot you. Trusty's Karma who is gonna be super tanky. Even Vision is going to be tanky at one point, so it's definitely not a bad idea to go the entries instead of Eclipse, just because of the burn. Like it's so good early on that it delays people from having to the ability to stay in lane as much as possible, especially when they don't have healing.
Yep. Meanwhile, back to where we've been in the top lane. Toe Knuckles getting shoved in early. I said it last game. I'm gonna repeat it just in case he watches this one and not that game. I still think I'd prefer having the grasp. I just think that helps you out so much in the lane compared to the lethal tempo. Damage getting traded down onto Mini. Or not Mini. No, it was Mini. Oh. And Vision DC.
Oh, their support disconnected. Sometimes I wish Smitty would do the same, but here we are.
Oh, that's the wrong screen. This one. Oh, never mind. That was a quick one. Sorry, Maris and all chat. Gank into the top lane. Scrams gets the pin down onto Trustius Karma. He's got no flash because he's opted for Ignite and Teleport. And Scrams now should eventually kill him. Somebody will eventually kill him, I'm sure. Unless he's got Winter or his dash right now and can just dash over to the wall. Even then, I think Scrams could flash and chase him down. Yeah, it's first blood for Scrams. Now mid lane, in comes Eli. Just stopped a little bit on that ward, and that's going to give Winged enough time to retreat. So, it's a double crabbiting happening for Eli.
Oh, Altera caught out, no mana.
Oh yeah, a lot of damage actually coming down onto Altera, but gets traded pretty nicely by the Make It Rain. As many Make It Rains as we've seen from Death Lotus, he still has a decent chunk of mana. That seems unethical.
It's the power tier of the goddess. No, but it definitely does keep him in lane a lot longer. But this is the unfortunate position Mini has to be in. The wave's just gonna get shoved on the turret for him. It really should be spelling out Death Lotus ahead in CS, but the whole point is Mini's getting shoved under turret. The exact same thing that's been happening in the last game. You want to shove Mini under the tower. That should be the RotM's game plan for this bot lane. Shove him on the tower, force him to miss CS, or force him to take the trade. And then you'll continue to win bot lane like you have been doing so far. But nonetheless, this is a really, really tough situation for Mini to be in as the game escalates. Do you really want to dive into Vladimir or get one comboed by the Poppy or ran down by Trundle? It's going to be hard for Mini to kind of carry this game. I think he's just going to be more mainly a support pick, kind of a Diana follow-up with his ultimate, if I might say so myself.
I think it's really cute the way that Scrams and Toe Knuckles have gone for matching builds each game. Last game they both went for the Frostfire. This game it looks like they're both headed for Divine Sunderer. It's kind of cute. Love to see the top jungle synergy. Yeah.
They look like a happy couple. Smitty, take notes.
It's interesting. It's a first longsword for Death Lotus, so not immediately into the Leandries, if we're gonna see that. Maybe it's Manamune first, and then I've seen that as well, just because you can proc it a little easier. Anyway, yeah. Eli's up in the top lane. They're looking for Toe Knuckles, but he's got the flash away. He still has a Subjugate available as well if they really want to get swirly, but...
They really want to get swirly?
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever heard that.
You've never heard squirrely in that context?
No. I've heard, what is that one? Oh my goodness. Like, oh, the gloves are off, or something like that.
Yeah, that's the same.
I like it. I'm not laughing at it because it's weird. I'm laughing at it because it's great.
Get squirrely. You want to go for a tussle? Donnybrook? Yeah,
tussle. Yeah, I've heard that one before. But anyways, Eli.
Anyway, yeah. Moonfall gonna pull in Scrams. Looks like a successful disengage for our RTM thus far. Oh, little extra load dash onto Altera. Meanwhile, in the top lane, ultimates exchange between Toe Knuckles and Trustiest Karma. There's no Karma in the Trustiest Karma game now, so that's kind of nice. No getting confused. But it looks like Vision and control of the Dragon Pit. Gonna flip over to Evo Blaze. Our team gonna walk in. Altera's gone back to base, so they'd be at a disadvantage if they did, and it looks like they'll give up the first dragon, as we've seen both times thus far, so Eli will secure that one.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to give an Ocean Drink over to Sejuani and Nyla and Tarek, but there's just nothing you can do. That team fight they had, or baby fight, I guess you could say, that they had over the river, it just didn't really work out in Ron's favor. Smart decision, fully backing off of it though, because you don't want to give any lead to any one of those champions. You definitely don't want Diana causing havoc at any point early on in the game. You don't want Wild Ray to get ahead on his gameplay, and overall, just a nice pull out by RotM. Unfortunately, he did have to force a dragon.
Yeah, Mini looking for the dash in, hits the Apotheosis, and immediately takes down Altera with the help of the Cannon Barrage. Now they're looking for the dive onto Death Lotus as well. They had the Taric ult, and they use it to good value. It's a double kill for Mini on the Nyla, and he's off to the races.
Even I forgot about Wild Ray being able to have a global ultimate. That's actually a really, really bad position to be in now for RotM in the bot lane. Mini's going to be able to back away and come back into lane, almost completed his shield bow. Yeah, there's nothing to do. I mean, other than Altera having to respect the fact that this is a Tarek you're laning against in bot lane. Like, he can extend the fight. He will tower dive if he wants to.
Well, and I think the hardest part about all of that is keeping track of the experience, right? Because Mini has the extra experience bump, and that meant that they hit level 6 while Death Lotus is level 5, Altera was level 4. Like, there's... I don't know. I don't know what you do about that one. It's a problem I haven't yet encountered, luckily. Because who plays Summoner's Rift, right?
I know. ARAM gods, am I
right? Anyway, it's a great start for Evo Blaze now. The double kill for Mini. You have the very Chad first item Essence Reaver finished up for Wild Ray. And our team doesn't really have that punch back that we saw the last couple of games. Wing's still trying to scale. Death Lotus still trying to scale. He's headed for his Manamune first, even. Toe Knuckles and Scrams looking for their big power point on their Divine Sunderers, but no one is quite there yet. Now, looking for the play into top lane. They'll get the pin. Oh, didn't get the pin, actually. Trustiest Karma still burning down underneath the tower, and it doesn't look like Scrams and Toe want to go for a dive.
Yeah, due to the comp that RotM has, they have to understand, all right, we're messing up pretty big right now in the early game. We have to continue to play safe or be a team-oriented fight going forward. Obviously, Dragon not being alive is not really, beneficial for RotM right now, but the whole purpose is they need to understand the game plan that they have. Get to late game. Don't do any risky plays until then. If it looks good, it probably isn't because there's a Diana somewhere nearby. And now they have to respect the Tarek pick at this point.
Yeah, now level 6 is finally starting to come through for Death Lotus and Altera. I think the biggest difference this game from the last couple is Wing just doesn't have that agency on this champion. He doesn't have the shove in. He doesn't have the ability to roam and make plays right now on the Vladimir. He's just gotta farm and shove waves back and forth with Wild Ray and doesn't really get to show up as the last man in some of these fights that he was able to turn on the Kennen. He doesn't get to throw his global W out on the Swain. He's just kind of stuck in mid lane, and right now to a CS deficit even, because Wild Ray is farming like a monster.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point to point out. It's going to be up to Scrams this game to help out as much as possible securing these Rift Heralds just to help Wing Nation get ahead in some type of way in this mid lane. Obviously, with Wild Ray picking up 2 assists, gold is being funneled a lot more easier to him. But the whole point is, for Scrams, I need to find a way to get my teammates ahead. I got a late game AD carry, I got a late game mid laner, and it's a slap fest over in top lane. Something has to be done. Objectives. Let's go ahead and get Wing unlocked from mid lane, or go ahead and get Death Lotus unlocked from bot lane. It's definitely your mid and bot lane that have to get unlocked somewhere on this map to go ahead and help out the other lanes. Wildred coming back into mid lane with 2 cloaks of agility. He's gonna be a warm person.
Yeah, he's going for it. We should see a third cloak come through.
Oh,
Going
Mini
for the
going
full
in.
Chad build, but yeah, into the bottom lane. There's just no disengaging that combo. Eli picks up a double kill, and ROTM finds their punch back, a little bit of damage in that mid lane. Now
Oh, Wing
Wing
going
looking
in.
for it, hits the ult, just not going to quite be enough damage from the Hemoplague, and he'll zip on out. Wild Ray down to about 200 health. I don't know
Yeah,
what
this
that
is.
really got for him. It showed that he can scrap, I guess.
I know how to right click. But in all seriousness, this is getting out of control now a little bit for RotM. 3K gold league for EVO at this point. Um, Unfortunate double kill given over in the bot lane, and then not being able to pretty much transition to a follow up kill in the mid lane, and they lose Dragon. Um, it's just like I said, this is slowly getting out of control. Eli is pretty much doing exactly what Scram should be doing. Eli is pretty much pressuring bot, and he's pressuring bot as much as possible. Scram is here though. I'm not sure what they can do to follow up because of Tarek's ability to stun.
Yeah, in comes the Apotheosis plus
Oh,
the Cosmic Radiance. Both of those are the same color as well, which is kind of nasty. But now being
then he
turned
has no
back with the
mana.
bullet time, a little bit of damage being traded back. But now
Oh, Eli's
Vision
here.
is able to rejoin Eli Man with the double dash on through the Mario Kart double dash for the third kill of the game. Scrams just trying to kite back away. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Winged, I think maybe getting a little bit desperate for this one. Walks too close into tower range, and Wild Ray finishes him off with the passive, and the map falling apart now for Surprise Party.
Oh no, this is exactly what they don't want to do. Um, Obviously, it's it's starting to, well, it's beyond starting, but it's already lost in the lane for bot lane. As much as I don't want to say I want to support the RotM crew, but um, once Mini gets to a point where he's able to just continuously fight and not have any consequences suffered out of it, like losing farm, losing plating, losing dragon, losing vision, then it's just gonna spill out of control for RotM. It was nice to see them put pressure onto Mini early on, but unfortunately, it didn't transition to anything at all for them. And little by little, it's just kind of falling apart for RotM at this point. I hate to see it because of how close they kept the game one, how close they kept the game two. I hope they find a way to climb back here in game three.
Toe and Trustiest Karma just doing the top lane thing. Meanwhile, Scram's getting invaded now by Eli Man. He can basically do whatever he wants. He's 3-0 on the Diana, has the Snatcher's Tooth completed. Toe has to pop Subjugate in order to stay alive. Gets ignited by Trustiest Karma just for a little insult to that. And uh, the one lane that they were slightly ahead in, it was like a CS and assist lead for Toe Knuckles, but even that one getting turned around a little bit by Trustiest Karma. I saw Tarek destroy a turret, and I got briefly excited because I thought it was Scrams, but it's not. It's Vision. So Tower in the bottom lane does go the way of Evo Blaze, and they extend their gold lead out. It's about 6,000 right now at 15 minutes.
It's a tough position to be in right now for RotM, but there's always that late game scale. It's gonna be to the point where they're gonna be able to roams together finally for this bot lane to come help out Scrams for these roams. It's just it's just really hard to do so right now. You got a little bit of a draft if, but I don't know, man. I hope RotM can pull this out. I really do want to see them win with how hard they've been fighting games 1 and 2. It's kind of looking like a little bit sloppy right now, but hopefully it turns out the best. It's almost a 6K. It's just about a 6K gold lead right now. Um, Obviously bot turn being down, Dragon's going away for Evo. Let's see what RotM can do. Hopefully they can pull out some farm and get Wing going for a little bit. Hopefully Death Lotus can come back.
Wild Ray didn't go for the 3 cloaks. A little disappointed. You better buy a cloak here. Oh! I don't. Nope. He's not the boy anymore.
He was a Chad
He was the
until now.
boy, but now went for the beta 2 cloaks build rather than the Sigma male Chad 3 cloaks build.
I agree. I completely agree.
In all seriousness, he's got 164 farm at 17 minutes, so he's doing pretty well for himself.
Yeah, those two cloaks are doing it for him.
But yeah, the real Chads out there know that you go Essence Reaver into 3 cloaks, then a Serrated Dirk, finish your Collector, then Infinity Edge.
I'm really liking the mirror item build, like you said earlier, with Toe Knuckles and Scrams, just like you said.
Teleport in. We're gonna have a scrap over this dragon. This is the first
Uh-oh.
Infernal Dragon,
We're
and
waiting for Toe.
uh,
Rest of pepperonis.
wow, he did not stand a chance. Damn. Yeah, they're even using the Cannon Barrage to clear mid, so there's no real gain for ROTM here. Apotheosis coming down from Mini just to try to help this one back out, but in comes the re-engage. Trustiest Karma hits that one back up into the... Oh my, they don't even need the Cosmic Radiance. They can still look for a further dive. Scrams is gone. They'll get the pullback. They're just face-tanking the bullet time, and EVO Blaze are rolling through game number 3. Now Mini pulls in Death Lotus. He'll take him down. It's an ace. Not quite an ace because Tonacles just respawned. Boy, it's 11,000 gold. It's a bit rough.
Yeah, this is not a heavy bleed. This is literally a loss of limb at this moment. But in all seriousness, I hate to be that type of person, but RotM can still win. They just gotta get to this late game power spike for Vladimir. Obviously, Misfortune is way beyond out the game. Too much gold was funneled into completing the Manamune into the boots being completed. I definitely would have rushed them. I think this is the part of where we look at the items and we understand where we went wrong. You don't really need to rush the boots at all. Your Misfortune. You kind of have this speed already. I can understand why you want the cooldown, but is the cooldown necessarily more important if you're not able to out damage what they're healing? At this point, Tarek with his Locket of Solari, he's just able to shield up as much as possible for Mini to go in and for Eli to go in as well. It's a little bit of an item difference as well instead of just a comp diff at this point, but I still think there's a way to come back. Let's see if they can get Wing Nation some breathing room, get him some gold, get him some XP funneled into him, get the Vladimir power spike, and let's see what Wing can do. Hopefully they can pull back from this deficit right now.
So Scrams just had to smite his red buff away, which means the Blaze is going to look for a Baron. Going to try to find a play up on the top lane. Trustiest Karma, again, no flash, no real ability to go over the wall. Scrams picks up his second kill of the game, and now this Baron is not a sure thing, so Eli will have to escape. He has just the casual Flame Horizon over Scrams right now. Looking for the big ult. Gets the pull in. There's a lot of circles coming down. There's no escaping for Return to the Middle Sticks. It's a double kill. They're just tanking up the bullet time. They don't care as Death Lotus flashes away. Wing was farming mid lane, and the rest of the 4-man squad from ROTM just get eliminated from the map. Wing trying to make a play onto Wild right now. Scram seeing if he can help out, but probably had to hit the barrel. I don't know. That's a rough one. Now Wing gets ignited by Vision just so that he can't heal back up. Mini trying to dash on in. Can Wing successfully 1v4? I don't know that he's in a good enough state just yet to try to do that one. But he's got the heal. Trustiest Karma's tanking up a little bit too much of this tower. And now Wing gets a shutdown. It's not a shutdown. He gets a kill. That's 300 gold.
Yeah, that was a really, really great ult from Eli, man, going in. Getting a 3-man Moonfall. That was a really, really big play. It doesn't spell out Baron for them, but it does give him a follow-up kill later on into the jungle with Scrams. I really hate to see RotM falling like this, but It's swinging Evo's way very heavily. 12K gold lead, 3 dragons. Um, they haven't lost a turret just yet. They're about to right now in mid lane, but they
Maybe
haven't
not.
lost
Eli
a
Man
turret.
is here to
Oh,
say
he is, yeah,
no. It does get interrupted by the tidal wave. That's really well played by Altera, just to make sure the
yeah.
Eli Man can't do it because that man's a bit strong right now. He's got 10 stacks and a Soul Stealer plus his 2 completed items. Toe's gonna try to take down a tower and he'll successfully get it. So back to 10k. Um, yeah, there's an Infernal Soul coming up in 40 seconds though, and all of your kills are on Trustiest Karma. Sejuani's got to pick it up. But you know, a lot of gold bounties if you're able to actually kill Diana or Gangplank. We have not seen them be under any threat this game, but if you could do it, that'd be good.
hmm Yeah, it's definitely in a tough position right now. I hope they don't go in blind right here. Oh no, Scrams.
Scrams has the Poppy ult just to pop him up in the air, but
Oh
in
my
comes the
goodness.
Moonfall. The two-man Moonfall does take down Scrams. Wild Ray is godlike, and now in comes the Terror ult over the top.
Oh, Wing
Wing
Nation's here.
hits a big Hemo Plague. Can he actually find any damage? No, Eli Man just
Oh,
suffocates him
Eli.
against the wall. Mini pins him there. Toe Knuckles tries to flash for the kill on Wild Ray, but he just can't quite secure that one. It's a double kill for Mini, and that'll be Infernal Soul for Evo Blaze.
Oh my goodness. It seems like EVO witnessed the power of Tarek last game and they said, huh, we can do the same thing. Let's run it back. And then they go ahead and this Tarek is just making plays after plays after plays with Eli. Eli's just going in with or Vision is making sure he's connected to either Mini or Eli so that way when they do go in, there's gonna be a confirmed follow-up stun. So it's really unfortunate that they're playing the matchup really well with the comp that they have. Obviously, they're getting great team fights on Evo's side, but still, RotM's doing the best they can to scrap it out, man. They're trying to do whatever they can to climb out from the hole that they're in.
No Chad Collector item from Wild Ray. He goes into the Lord Dominic's regards instead, which is probably statistically better, but it's boring.
Yeah, he's not a Chad, he's a Chris.
A Chris?
Yeah, Chris.
Okay,
It doesn't sound as cool as Chad.
that's fair. It definitely doesn't. Alright, well now, how do you navigate a team that is ahead 15,000 gold and an Infernal Soul? What's the
At this
play for Return of the Middle Sticks?
at this point, you kind of just have to let the farm come to you. At this point, obviously, with them not taking the inhibitor, it kind of opens up Evo to kind of force Rodham to come out. Normally, if the inhibitor gets taken, you can just free farm in your base, but nonetheless, Rodham has to come out to farm now, which is something they don't want to do. You can see how scared they are to even go in their own jungle. But the best thing they can do. Oh, never mind. I can't continue to talk. Eli just goes in, gets a double kill.
I might have looked away for a second to pet my dog. Oops.
Eli just
I
dashed in with Tarek or
Yeah, it looks like
Tarek
some people died. Toe is also dead. That didn't look particularly difficult, and yeah,
They could end the game here. They still have Cosmic Radiance.
um, yeah. In 34 seconds to go on Toe Knuckles spawn. No reason why they can't. That's a 1,000 damage barrel. Casually. Nexus turret number 1, Nexus turret number 2. They have Cosmic Radiance. They just execute poor Scram.
Wing, save the
Winged
game,
is
Wing!
trying now. He gets the knockup from Altera, but the Altera Winged combo isn't quite enough to stave off the Nexus dying. It's a merciful 26 minutes. Evo just rolls Return to the Middle Sticks in game number 3. Games 1 and 2 very close. Game number 3 was not. That was a quick knockout from Evo Blaze.
Yeah, you really hate to see it happen to your own boys, but at the same time, it happens.
Yeah, really impressive performance by Evo Blaze. They're going to improve to 2-0. Return of the Middle Sticks picks up a game win, but they drop to 1-1 now. And we'll maybe see them next week. I don't know. I just told them. I told them that was their last cast of the split. We'll see what time they schedule all their games for. But uh, anyway, that's gonna do it for me tonight. I'm going to bed. Thanks Atlas for joining me.
No
Appreciate it.
problem.
And next broadcast is going to be Thursday night. We have the Banditos on stream. And yeah, the only people I have on are Team Ambition, so go watch Team Ambition, I guess. It's the ADL quarterfinals.
Ooh.
Ooh. Have a good night, everyone.
Goodbye, all.